and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Big 12 Media Days going on. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. That's a conference that probably doesn't get enough respect in some situations and maybe too much respect in others. We'll get to that coming up on the show. A little Alabama-Auburn flavor with the greatest games of the century. NFL hot seats, but we got to start with soccer. Man, I didn't think I would hurt as bad as I hurt last night watching that unfold, but it got pretty... I don't want to use the word embarrassing.
It was embarrassing.
I don't know what it was.
It was embarrassing.
Embarrassing on your
and I'm not going to fall back for it. I blame myself. We did our jobs as fans, did we not? I mean, America came together. This was the biggest buzz we've ever had for the sport of soccer in the history of our 250 years. And it is the deadbeat dad that disappears, and he shows up once a year with a shiny gift, and he spends the weekend with you, and you think, here we go. And then he goes off on another adventure and breaks your heart. And that's what we're getting every 4 years. And I mean, it was embarrassing. The moment was way too big for the Americans. That's not a great Belgium team. I mean, you look at the odds right now to still the 10 remaining teams, they have some of the longest odds to win this thing. They have no shot at winning this thing.
Best comparison I saw was we're a mid-major basketball team in March Madness, and we make it out of the first weekend, and everybody's talking about us, and we get on the Sweet 16 stage, and we're not that good. The moment's too big for us.
Well, we got a good draw. I mean, Bosnia was a good draw, right?
Yes.
And I think we came out, and Pulisic – wasn't 100%, and what a poon, by the way. My gosh.
His stat line.
Soft.
0 shots. 0 created shots for other people, chances for other people. 1 touch in the box. 1 defensive play he made all night long. He was killing us on the defensive side when we needed him to help out.
He turned it over 11 times in the first half, and he looked like...
His first 5 touches were turnovers.
He just looked like he was at half speed all night. And then, again, when you saw the replay, he kicks a cleat and, completely falls apart and, subs himself out. But, we bought into this. We should have known. When you look at Pulisic, you look at these other greats. You've got, the Erling Haalands. You've got the Mbappes. You've got the Harry Kanes and the Messis. You've got, Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes and Matt Stafford. We don't have that. Pulisic makes $6 million a year. He's Jacoby Brissett. That's our alpha. How did we get suckered into he was that good?
Yeah.
Like he is average amongst like the really good players in the world. And that was supposed to be our alpha. You got to have an alpha in this tournament. When you look at the Golden Boot, those guys at the top, those are the best teams. They've got one of those guys.
Well, Balogun was supposed to be our alpha and had him back last night. He had 1 shot on target. He created 0 chances. The 2 stars didn't show up last night in our defensive back line, including the local kid.
Chris
Richards. They didn't play well. They were timid back in the box, didn't clear things out. The goalie not kicking the ball away, the death nail 3-1. Now that was an embarrassing moment.
Look, Matt Freese.
That was Bill Buckner booting it in the World Series.
But what do we expect? He's an MLS goalie. Like, you're playing on the top stage of the world. This guy can't play. That would be like bringing in an independent league pitcher to go against the Dodgers lineup. I mean, that's what you're asking. But, that was a play he should be able to make, in his sleep. Again, this is a Harvard guy. So, the analogy I would use is Ryan Fitzpatrick. Is he going to win you a Super Bowl? Wonderlic, he's great. I bet Freeze is great on the Wonderlic. But, to be a goalkeeper that's going to take us to the quarterfinals, possibly the semifinals, I bought in, though. I thought, one of the reasons people were bitching about the rescinded red card was because they were afraid that the U.S. was finally getting good at soccer. This is our plateau. This is our ceiling. We just can't get past 16. We can't.
Here's the bad news. If you, like Lance and everyone else, were excited about the deadbeat dad showing up, when the World Cup rolls around again 4 years from now, Pulisic will be 31, Adams will be 31, Balogun will be 29. Richards will be 30. That's the other side of the prime window. So we're going to have that's back end of the window being open. Maybe they've got one more World Cup in them, but they looked slow last night. 4 years of aging out of your window. And when we host this again in 2038, 12 years from now, it'll be a different generation of soccer fans and soccer players. You hope somebody got inspired to stay home and play for the good old US of A, but this seemed like our moment to at least get to the 8.
Yeah, look, and I know there's a buzz right now, but how long will the buzz last? You know, I just wanted one more win last night, take us the remaining of this week playing a power in Spain on Friday night, and then you lose that game. That's acceptable. You're like, damn, okay, we got to the quarterfinals. This makes sense. Now I look at this. The manager went from a charismatic guy that was selling Boss sweatshirts to it looks, fat, lazy, anger management issues. I'd go on and fire him. I really would. He ain't worth $6 million. Everybody else got us to this point. So why are we paying this guy $6 million?
Yeah, 4 straight times knocked out of the Sweet 16 to back up what Lance is saying here. But it is hard to go. There's a gap. There's a canyon between 16 and 8 in this tournament. We've gone one time here in recent years. Argentina goes all the time. Egypt plays today. They've never been. Switzerland, 1954, the last time they've been to the Elite 8. Colombia, who I always thought was a soccer nation, they've only gone one time in 2014. So there is this gulf between the 16 and the 8 that we struggle to get over.
No, I get that, but I did think Belgium was a kind of a nice draw. I mean, the U.S. went off as a minus 125 favorite last night.
Well, it never looked like we were favorites.
At the time at the match, yeah, and I think a lot of that was money. I mean, the U.S. was a huge liability being a host country, and, from every legal sports book around the country, they were taking a ton of handle on the U.S. team last night at minus the 125. But, I mean, that shows you, though, even if it's just around a pick, we should have been competitive, and we weren't competitive. And back to, talking about some of these nations that have never made it to the quarterfinals, I caught myself down 3-1 Googling every nation that has been in the World Cup and how far they've gotten. That's how bored I got with the game last night.
Yeah. I started doing my doom scrolling on TikTok, so I just started seeing what concerts are coming to town. Apparently, Garth Brooks is starting an arena tour.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I started doing last night when it was 3-1.
That was very 2021 for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Very 2021. All right, so we're off and rolling. I'd love to know the last time you were this disappointing in a sporting event after you tell us about our friends at Michelson Laser Vision, the fine folks that changed your eyesight a couple of decades ago.
Yeah, look, if you are in the market, if you've thought about LASIK, maybe wear contacts, maybe wear glasses, trust me, you're wasting money each and every year. I'm speaking from experience. I wore the contacts for about a decade, pain in the ass, taking them out at night, putting them back in the next morning. Finally went to see Dr. Mark Michelson in 2003. After the procedure, 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Make the call today. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
I don't have to go back long to find the feeling that I felt. This was exactly Rose Bowl this past year for me. I was fired up. I was in Norman when Alabama came back.
That was about the beating, too.
It was.
Yeah.
And Alabama beat Oklahoma, and I was like, gosh, darn it, what a big road comeback win. Rose Bowl, beat Indiana, and see what happens after that. You get to the Rose Bowl, and it just looked like one team didn't belong on the same grass as the other. And Indiana beat Alabama that bad, and that's the way it felt last night. So that's the last time I felt this.
Well, and you being a big Bama fan, I get that. Going into that Indiana game, they were a 6-point favorite. I felt like they were a dominant team. I felt like they would handle Bama last year. Not like they did, but I really did buy into the Americans last night against Belgium. I was like, and I don't know how you felt, once we got to match time, I was like,
oh, God, yeah.
I was like, I've kind of got a bad feeling now. Like, it feels like we have overhyped this moment. When Rob Stone is, like, placating to the crowd before the game, and, they're throwing out soccer balls, and they're playing The Boys Are Back in Town, I was like, man, I don't know. Like, maybe this moment's too big. But all day yesterday, I felt really good about the match.
And Belgium played pissed off a little bit.
They did, and they should have. And look, that version of Belgium, I mean, look, they can play with Spain. I mean, that could be an interesting match on Friday, but it's amazing how slow we looked last night. Like, if you watch the Gordon kid for England coming up on Saturday, I mean, he's the fastest white guy I've seen since Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that guy can fly. It just seemed like the Americans have no speed. They don't have an alpha. They don't have a good goalkeeper.
And we looked faster than anybody in our group.
Yeah.
When we played in that group coming out.
But back to that, this might be, Miami of Ohio this year, back to your mid-major, analogy, where we.
Oh, you think Miami of Ohio is good this year?
No. I'm talking about Miami of Ohio in basketball. Remember they were undefeated.
Okay. I was already in football mode. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So you see them and you're like, oh, damn, this team's pretty good. And then you see them play, one of the Power 4 or Power 5 teams, I should say, in college basketball, and it's just night and day.
Okay, this obviously didn't rise up to you're the biggest fan of the Rams than you are of any other sport. It did not rise up to a Rams loss, the feeling you had last night.
No. Not even a regular season. I go back to that Thursday night game against San Francisco where Mac Jones was incredible. And I woke up 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night just like, how did we fumble at the goal line? How did he make that third down completion? No. I blame myself. The excitement that we would have had going into a quarterfinal matchup against Spain on Friday would have been absolutely incredible. So selfishly, I hate that. Selfishly, I hate it for the country. But this team wasn't good. I'm not getting burned again. Like, I'll be all in again on the World Cup in 4 years when I think it's Morocco, Spain, and Portugal that are the 3 countries that will host. I will be all in on that. But I will not be all in on the Americans making a deep run. I just don't think it will ever happen in our lifetime.
Zach says because of the vibes and infighting with Belgium, people don't understand the psychology of sports. When that red card was reversed, it galvanized that team. There was a lot of infighting going on. I don't keep up with enough soccer to know that they were not getting along, some of their stars. But it galvanized them to destroy the U.S. Laura says, I got a bad feeling a couple hours before it started, like you. She was sitting there watching the hype.
And you wonder, and look, I mean, we used our power to kind of muscle in and get that red card rescinded. I didn't have a problem with that. We talked about it yesterday on the show, but it does become much more embarrassing. And we did bring this up yesterday. Like, now you have really put the spotlight on yourself. And if you go out there after, getting that pushed across the line and you play like you did last night, it becomes that much more embarrassing. I mean, I'm sure, as you pointed out yesterday, when you saw the graphic around the world of people that were pulling against the Americans, it was everybody but our country.
It was.
I'm sure the world was really, really happy last night.
Troy said, I turned it on and watched for 2 minutes, saw how completely outmatched we looked, and I was like, nope, not going to watch this, and he turned it off that quickly.
Yeah, that was what was really surprising. Again, you can stomach that against Spain or France, one of the great teams out there right now, but against Belgium, and look, they did play exceptionally well last night. And I do think one of the big moments, like we came out in the second half and we applied a lot of pressure. And then you had the terrible, it was basically an on goal, it almost seemed, from Matt Freese. And after that moment, you knew it was absolutely over.
Is there another country in the world that wants to be good at a sport? This is sort of a question from Hey, It's Rambo. That like we seem to want to be good at soccer, but we never can get there. Is there another country in the world that wants to be good at a sport that can't get there?
Well, I mean, everyone at American football.
Yeah, well, but is there a desire anywhere else for them to play?
No, I will
really
say
good.
Mexico, because I went back again when I was bored at 3-1 looking. Mexico's never had any. Like, you go to any ghetto Mexican restaurant across the United States, they all have like soccer on. It doesn't matter what time of year it is. It seems like they've got some kind of soccer on. They love soccer. You go to any random park on a Saturday or Sunday, they're playing pickup soccer. But Mexico cannot. I mean, I think all things equal, Mexico really is the Texas. They probably don't have the resources, but they seem like the nation that just can't get it done in soccer.
It's important to them more than it is to us.
I think so, yeah. Because we've got other things to lean on.
And our history sort of equals theirs.
Yeah, it really does.
World Cup.
And that's kind of amazing because, back to your point, thinking Colombia, a South American country has traditionally been good at soccer. You would think Mexico traditionally would be good at soccer if you really don't follow how deep these teams go in this tournament.
I guess we want to be good at this because it's so important to the rest of the world. Like,
we want world dominance. I mean, when we knocked off Canada to win a gold medal, that was a big deal because how did we do it in hockey, you know? Like, we should be better, in my opinion, and I know we have got a bigger brand of the national sport in our states, and we do win the Stanley Cup every year with one of those organizations, but still it's more comprised of Canadians and Europeans. It's not a bunch of Americans, but we found a way to win the gold. So, you know, for us to be able to do it in hockey, how we can't do it in soccer, and I think it is, we just want world dominance.
Yeah. Well, we're about to find out in basketball next summer Olympics. I don't think the Americans will be the favorites in basketball. Everyone keeps pointing to France and Wemby and that team and how the European teams are getting better and better. World Baseball Classic, we're never really the favorites in that anymore. The Dominicans and, you know, Japan's pretty good. And so we're starting to slip in some of our sports internationally.
I will believe the basketball when we, you know, I mean, it was a moment in time when we went back and guys really didn't care about it. If we band together, I still think we have the best basketball. Baseball, I mean, the Dominican is such a huge influence. Nobody will ever take football from us, though.
Nobody. Very few people play it.
That's true.
Us.
That is true. And I did tweet out last night, hey, look, real football is right around the corner. I guess we're 54 days technically today, right?
Yeah. We're 54 days away from week 0 of college football. I think later this month we get the Hall of Fame game. Camps open up in the NFL.
Will you buy back in 4 years, though?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. You throw the red, white, and blue flag on anything, and I'll cheer for it.
Well, I just wonder.
I mean, next year is the Women's World Cup. I'll be all in.
Well, we're good at that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's you know, I mean, that's obvious that we'll make a deep run there. But you just wonder, when you gave out the ages to our primary players, you know, what is behind them? I don't know what the future for USA Soccer is. I just assume it's,
we're like the Cubs for 110 years. The best is still to come next.
Okay.
We're next year, next time.
I think we'll get back to the knockout round. We'll probably get back to 16, and we'll tease everybody again. But it's going to feel different. You know, we had this opportunity in 94. You remember the buzz around here in 94. And then I have never seen – I'm trying to think of another sport – like outside of the NFL, I can't even think of Major League Baseball or the NBA or any kind of national buzz around any sport like we saw these last couple of weeks.
Because we were all cheering for the same team.
I mean, that does help,
and
no
that's
doubt.
what made it fantastic. And why it's such a great sport. It continues today. Argentina and Egypt, 11 a.m. on Fox Central Time. Swiss and Colombia, 3 o'clock on Fox Central Time. No primetime games today.
You know who's in Atlanta for Argentina, Egypt?
I noticed that Cheese is running the board today. So I assume Tyler got tickets?
Tyler got up early this morning. Our friends at ATIX, Steve and Dan, helped him out yesterday. They found him a single. Boy, those tickets were crazy. I didn't realize one of my buddies that lives in Seattle texted me some pictures from outside of Lumen last night, and I was like, did you get a ticket? He's like, hell no. He's like, get-ins here are $4,000 a ticket.
That's right. More people outside than inside.
Oh, yeah. Now, the get-in this morning in Atlanta, and I do wonder if these ticket prices will drop, because I think you got a lot of Americans like me that would love to go to a match. I've got a little less of a buzz now after last night.
Too.
So I think the ticket prices will probably drop, but a get into Argentina, Egypt was $2,000. But yeah, Jeeves is over there.
Even for a single.
For a single.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand if it's got to be $2,000 a ticket if it's two together.
Yeah.
But just a single get in.
A single. And I think what happened, though, with Messi being there, I mean, you got to. I mean, it seems like every other person that follows soccer has got a Messi jersey.
Yeah.
So I think with Argentina playing in that, I think it probably inflated it a little bit. Your best ticket price is probably Switzerland, Colombia, if you just wanted to catch one today. I could be completely wrong on that. But I do think the ticket prices will dip a little bit moving forward. I could be wrong on that, but we shall see. I mean, what do these countries do?
As America goes to the beach and the lake now to get their summer in before school starts back.
But Maddie was asking me this the other day when we were watching Norway. Do the Norwegian fans come in and just plan on being here the whole time?
Yeah, it's a month. It's a month vacation.
My gosh. I mean, how much money do you spend in a month?
Yeah, especially here, right? Sometimes when we go to Europe, it's a little cheaper after we get there.
Yes, depending on how you do it. But, I mean, these fans are, like, you know, foot to the pedal, it seems like, the whole time.
Yeah, they've gotten here, and with our prices over here right now, $31 for burger and fries and good old Diet Coke, it can be hefty. can be hefty. Our friends at Hoover Toyota can help you get around this fall. If you're looking for a new 2026, they've got some on the lot. The new cars are coming soon. Always a great inventory, hoovertoyota.com.
Yeah, I talked to our man Scott Peoples yesterday down at Hoover Toyota. He invites you guys, if you're in the market for a car, SUV, truck, new or pre-owned, they have got the best inventory, conveniently located Highway 150. Stop in, see that great staff. They will roll out the red carpet program for you. They've been doing that for more than 2 decades, serving not only Birmingham, but Alabaster and Vestavia as well. They've got the on-site finance department headed by Kim. I'm speaking from experience. I bought 2 Toyotas over the last year and a half from these guys. Customer service is fantastic. Parts and service, fantastic. Stop in and see them, conveniently located Highway 150 in Hoover, or go online for more information, hoovertoyota.com.
Hogbone says the international fans he sees everywhere saying this is by far the most expensive World Cup games they've been to. Not just tickets, but I would imagine the whole accommodations and food and all of that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I do think it is a great host country for this with all of the venues we've got and all the great cities we've got. But it really is embarrassing. Canada gone, U.S. gone, Mexico gone.
I never really expected much from Canada, to be honest.
I didn't either.
They hung around longer than I actually thought they would.
I did. I mean, for all 3 to get to the knockout round, I did. Yeah. I thought the way Mexico was playing, and I thought the way the U.S. was playing, I bought in. I really did. I thought this U.S. team was good. They weren't.
Weird thing that I saw this morning as we move away from soccer here. Clay Travis on the show, by the way, to start hour number 2, 10 Central if you're watching live, hour 2 if you're catching us on the podcast at Spotify and other great podcast locations. Is the Heisman House the one they used to shoot that commercial series during football season?
Our friend Ashley Smith came up with the concept
of the Heisman House.
She did.
On sale. The actual house itself is on sale right now. What do you think the price tag
Well,
is?
you've got to tell me. Let me guess where it is.
Okay. I'll need to pull up that.
I'm going to say it's randomly in Georgia, outside of Atlanta.
Okay, I can see why you would say that.
Yeah.
Okay,
and a lot of film done over there, and it looks like a Southern house for whatever reason. Maybe because there's so many Southern guys that win Heisman trophies is maybe why it feels like that.
Okay, it is actually in Pasadena, California.
Not even close. No. California property is very, very expensive. That Heisman house, I am going to say it goes on the market for $2.3 million.
Try $32 million.
Okay, maybe I've gotten bad looks at the Heisman house. It looked like more of a normal.
Yeah, seven.
My gosh.
7 bedrooms, 11 baths, 18,655 square feet.
It didn't look that big in the commercial.
Well, when they've got everybody out on the lawn and doing all those things,
it's got
lawn.
Good curb appeal. It doesn't look that big. I mean, almost 19,000 square feet. That is insane.
It's in the 91105, very close to the 92102. 380 San Rafael Avenue, Pasadena, California.
Okay, well, I will tell you this. You don't have to worry about the UCLA games. I don't care with Bob Chesney and all the JMU players coming in and whatever kind of buzz, if that's anything, those 10,000 fans per home game there. But I will tell you, the Rose Bowl weekend, I'm renting that thing out, and I'm getting the hell out of there because I ain't dealing with that traffic. Are you?
No. I just wonder, do any of the Heisman guys get drunk out on the town and accidentally go back there thinking they still live there? Because they moved out of the Heisman house, didn't they? They went on the road last year. That was part of the commercial series.
I mean, the one you would worry about is Manziel, right?
That's right. Manziel comes trying to get his key in the door at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You hear it rattling. The alarms are going off. The dogs are barking. Johnny, what are you doing?
It's like you remember
you don't live here anymore.
The movie Less Than Zero from the 80s.
Oh yeah, the cocaine movie.
Yeah, with Andrew McCarthy and Jamie Gertz, and then Robert Downey Jr. was the guy that would crawl back to his parents' home in Beverly Hills, and they'd have to kick him out. That's Manziel climbing back into the Heisman house.
Yeah, that's a beautiful house. One I would not buy.
There's a lot more. That you could buy for a lot less than $32 million that would be more appealing for me.
A lot of college football to get to on the show. Clay coming up, as we said. Show being brought to you today by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Wonderful folks there. Greg from Pell City will help you with a free no-cost roof inspection. What Greg does for you, you see, he's a family man. He and his wife, Andrea, they own the company. They've owned it for over 20 years, locally owned. They've got 10 kids, so they understand what it's like raising a family here in Central Alabama. They're deep-rooted here in Central Alabama. So he wants to help you out as a homeowner. The first thing he does is give you a free, no-cost roof inspection. No money. He jumps up there and lets you know what's going on with your roof. Do you have 3 years, 5 years left in your roof? Do you need to replace it now? Is there some fixture problems up there? 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531 for that free no-cost roof inspection. See everything they have for you at stormrestorationroofing.com. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. He does storm damage repairs, the roof replacements. He does it all right there. Stormrestorationroofing.com or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Big 12 Media Days going on. We'll get to that, and we'll get to our 40 and 40 today as we move our rankings to number 39. But there's one team in the college football recruiting world, other than Alabama, that's not recruiting where you probably think they should be recruiting right now. Alabama 35th right now as we start the show this morning in the Rivals rankings. Not shocking. Auburn's 13th in the On3 Rivals rankings. But Indiana, 29th down there. Does that surprise you any? Does that concern you at all? I read last night somewhere they don't have a top 200 commitment right now.
Well, I mean, you think about around the state of Indiana. I don't know what the college football, or the high school football, I would assume Indianapolis has got pretty good high school football. He seems like one of those coaches. Now, again, Bill Snyder, Frank Beamer, those guys would have really good years, but nothing even close to the year that Kurt Cignetti had last year, going 16-0, winning a national championship. It's a little strange because typically when a team has won 27 games over 2 years and they're, right now the alpha of college football, a lot of players will gravitate to that. And especially when you hear Mark Cuban's going to start spending money and they've got these NIL resources. But maybe Cignetti's just one of these guys, still wants to develop players, and you want to go out and get guys like a Fernando Mendoza that are already proven. You go out and you get the transfer guy.
That was my big question was, are we to a point now where you don't worry about these recruiting rankings anymore and you try to get, like Alabama's got one 5-star guy, a few 4-star guys, and a lot of 3-star guys, and it's going to be a small class. Do you just try to go get 1 or 2 or 3 superstars and you do it the rest through the portal?
Well, that's the way I would kind of do it, because you go get these 5 and 4 stars, there's a good chance they're going to leave you anyway. Even if you're Alabama, they go to Ohio State or, they go to Texas. They end up bolting and going somewhere else. I think it is a little disturbing that Alabama has all of those 3 stars, though, just because you've never seen it before.
Yeah, but, from people I talk to, those are the guys that will fill out the depth chart at the bottom of the depth chart.
And you've got to have those guys.
And it doesn't cost you any money.
But the problem is if some of those guys come on and they start, contributing on special teams, and then they, end up earning a starting job, those are the guys that probably transfer out first.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But those, it's almost interchangeable parts. They're almost the 5th, 6th, 7th round of the NFL draft guys. And you may hit on some of those may hit. They may end up being.
The thing is, though, Alabama has been struggling over the last – boy, I'm buying into what everybody's saying. They've won 20 games over the last 2 years. They won 11 games last year and went to a college football playoff. But by Nick Saban standards, they have struggled the last couple of years with 4 and 5 stars. And now you're going to go back to 3 stars. So I think there is a concern there, and I get it. For Indiana, I wouldn't be as concerned because we've seen what they've done the last couple of years with developing guys.
I was surprised when I saw Indiana sitting there at 29th when I was checking on Alabama this morning.
But you will say Alabama is much more surprising where they are than Indiana is, even though Indiana is coming off 16-0.
They are, unless we're at a transition point on how we're going to do recruiting at the bigger schools. That is it more about the portal? Are we going to be a portal school in Tuscaloosa?
I've told you I would be a portal coach, and I would not schedule. My out of conference would be the softest out of conference scheduling ever.
Lance'sLock.com for your big plays every day. Football season not far away. He kills it during NFL exhibition season. We're a month away from that right now when that kicks off. And of course, college football season. But until we get there, a few more World Cup games and a lot of baseball at Lance'sLock.com.
Another 1-0 in the World Cup. We had Spain for you yesterday against Portugal. A very boring game, but Spain gets out late with a 1-0 victory. So we're around a 57% clip right now with the World Cup, which is really, really good. We're coming off a 4-0 yesterday. We were 3-0 in Major League Baseball, 1-0 in the World Cup. We've got more winners up and available today. We've got that Switzerland-Colombia game up and available, along with more Major League Baseball. Jump on board and win with us. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience any plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
with you now, Clay Travis at the top of the hour. The show being brought to you today by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. By the way, before you pop up the UCA graphic, happy birthday to Scott Forrester today.
Oh, wow. Did not make 4 downs, but happy birthday, Forrester.
Give me Forrester's microphone in the back row there. Forrester, not that I'm going into a commercial, a read about urological care as you get older or anything, but happy birthday, man. You're getting old.
I am indeed.
Well, I do remember last year when we did not buy you anything. We forgot again this year.
But at least you didn't steal a cheesecake from me this year.
That's true. But I did say, what would you want in 2026 on July 7th? And you were like, hey, if the White Sox can just be around first place, which they are. So there you go.
Hey, and along that line, I'll be out Friday because I'll be at a White Sox game Friday night.
All right. Is that sort of a pseudo birthday gift?
It is. We're so Haley's birthday was last month. We're gonna do White Sox game Friday night for my birthday. Tyler Childers at Wrigley Field Sunday night for hers.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That's a great weekend. Well, good for you, man. Happy birthday. And as I always tell you, as you move from your 20s to your 30s, 30s to 40s, 40s to 50s.
Okay, you can stop now.
Our friends at Urological, who is it? It's our friends at UCA, Urology Centers of Alabama.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. But Forrester has me turned upside down now. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. 70 years of compassionate care here in Central Alabama. 10 great locations, and they take care of everything from prostate health to kidney stones, something Forrester knows a lot about these days now. 205-930-0920. And all your hormonal treatments you need, men and women, they've got it for you. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. 40 and 40 here in just a second. But we have our rankings in graphic form now. We'll say Browns for when he gets back. But let's see how LT ranked his top 25, that his ballot went in there. He is an Oregon first guy, and then Notre Dame, Georgia, Indiana, Ohio State. Tell me about your top 5 there.
Well, look, Oregon has done everything but win a national championship, and I've just got a feeling like I'm not all in on Dan Lanning. I think he is really, really good for that program. I think he's lost, obviously, a lot of big games that he has coached in. But, man, every year they're 11-1. They are right there in the mix, and I've just got a feeling with Dante Moore coming back this year, I think their defense is going to be the difference. I like the Oregon Ducks a lot. Number 2, Notre Dame. I think they've got chip on the shoulder. You look at the schedule as an absolute joke. Worst case, they're 11-1. They're going to get a really good seed, and I think Notre Dame with C.J. Carr, one of the more underrated quarterbacks. They're going to be back to where they were just a couple of years ago. Nobody's talking about Georgia. It's like, Kirby has gotten to the college football playoff, the 12 team both years. But, the unfortunate situation 2 years ago with Carson Beck, and Gunnar Stockton comes in, starts his first game. They lose to a red-hot Notre Dame team. And then last year, you look at the Georgia team that, they play, a team that seemed to be on a mission in Ole Miss. I just think Georgia comes in with chip on their shoulder. Indiana's not going anywhere. I got them at 4. And Ohio State, although the schedule is really, really difficult, maybe the most difficult we've ever seen an Ohio State schedule look on paper, I still think they're going to be a machine. So that's my top 5. And again, I did this on multiple cocktails and edible, 35,000 feet in the air after a long week down by the equator. So
disclaimer there, he's got Alabama, for those that are audio only, at number 9 in his rankings.
I bet I've got Alabama the highest of anyone.
In any poll of
I'm talking about the 3 of us.
Voters?
I'm talking about the 3 of us.
You think you have Alabama higher than me, Jimmy? Alabama?
Even you. I could be wrong. We'll see here shortly.
By the way, down at the bottom, Ole Miss, he has 22. Just some takeaways there. Good to see the Washington graphic back into the top 25. You have them in there.
Maybe a team that we will preview today that I bet nobody else has got in the top 25.
You had Kansas State 20 that missed our rankings totally. They were the 41st
But I sold
team.
you on Kansas State yesterday, didn't I?
You did. And then I did more research afterwards. They lost so much in the portal. I mean, the quarterback was back, but they lost so much in the portal.
But you look at the schedule, and I'm going to sell you on our team today, too.
Okay. Give me my top 25. This is how I voted. Again, Brown on vacation. I've got Oregon 1, Notre Dame 2, Alabama number 8, one spot ahead of you.
Okay.
Yeah. But you and I agree at 1 and 2. And then we had the
You have bought into Miami.
I have bought into Miami, and I've bought into Texas. Ohio State, you and I duplicated 5. I don't think Indiana's going anywhere. I got them at 7. I bought into LSU, and I bought into Texas A&M.
Yeah. I still just I think Texas has probably got the best roster in football. I don't trust Sark. I just don't. The same with Mario Cristobal. It was an incredible postseason run last year, but as easy as their schedule seems on paper, and I'll give Brooks credit yesterday. He brought this up. Like, it seems like if you're trying to figure out a Power 4 team that will win their conference this year, we all, I think, would gravitate to Miami winning the ACC, but we did this with Clemson last year. Now, do I think Miami's going to have a Clemson-like nosedive? I don't. I think Miami's going to be really good, but just because they went on that run last year, I'm not buying in Miami to win a national championship or even be close this year, but a lot of people are.
Well, arguably, according to some NFL scouts, the best quarterback prospect for next year's NFL draft and Mensa at quarterback.
Well, I've been saying it for months since he signed with Miami. He is an upgrade over Carson Beck. This is closer to what you got with Cam Ward as far as efficiency at the quarterback position.
We'll talk Big 12 later on, but Texas Tech, BYU, Houston in mind. You had Houston in yours as well.
I did. I think you and I have Penn State. I think we're buying into Matt Campbell, and, everything fell apart. They won 7 games last year. 2 years ago, they were in the semifinals. You've got experience at quarterback. You've got, the best of the best, whatever that means, coming from Ames with the transfers. And you look at their schedule. I mean, that's why I had them at 10. You've got them at 11. I think most people are going to sleep a little on Penn State.
Well, our rankings, relatively speaking, are pretty close.
Yeah.
Considering that you were 35,000 feet and intoxicated.
But I have gone with Oregon Notre Dame for a long time now.
Sea level.
I'm sticking with them. You and I both on the same page probably will not be good for Oregon and Notre Dame, but we shall see.
Probably not. All right, I'm going to tell you about our buddy Alexander Shinara, and then we will get to our 40 and 40 today. Number 39 in our rankings, one team every day until we kick off the college football season. Our buddy Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys is a national firm with southern roots headquartered right here in Birmingham, Alabama. 25 years, the firm has grown to over 150 lawyers, 500 dedicated team members, recovering $2 billion by maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. The mission was pretty simple when Alexander started this firm. He wanted a firm that could handle any issue that his community faced, and the firm now handles not only personal injury claims, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' comp, and a host of other claims. If you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. And of course, our 40 and 40 every day being brought to you again by our wonderful folks at HooverToyota.com.
If you are in the market for new or used truck, SUV, car, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they can help. They have the best inventory, the best on-site finance department. For more information, stop in and see them. Highway 150, conveniently located right there, or online, HooverToyota.com.
All right. Yesterday, number 40 started our 40 and 40 countdown, voted on by you, the listeners, and us on the show, with Nebraska at number 40. Number 39 today, the NC State Wolfpack, a team you love a lot.
Well, I don't love. They're coming off 8 wins. I like the quarterback a lot, C.J. Bailey. You look at year one, the numbers, he goes from 65% completion. In year 2, goes 69%, 700 more passing yards. The touchdowns go up. The interceptions go down. He's a guy that has a little mobility, almost 500 rushing yards in his first 2 seasons. His starting quarterback for the Wolfpack, 11 rushing touchdowns. He's big, 6'6", 215 pounds. And I look at the schedule. They miss Miami. They miss SMU. They miss Clemson. Listen to this, Dunaway. They could be favored in all 12 games this year.
All 12 of them?
They could be. I don't think they will. I think it's more like 9 or 10. But if they get off to the start, they could possibly get off. I don't think they're going to be, Virginia's going to be a coin flip. At Vanderbilt, they're probably going to be a dog there. They're probably a dog at Florida State, maybe. But outside of that, I mean, they're going to be favored in a good majority of these games.
Yeah.
And Dave Doran's going into year 14. What's interesting about that is lasting 14 years at a Power 4 is how difficult is that? We talked about these coaches are basically dog years. He's never won 10 games in a season. So you've never had that bump of a season, but 8 of his 13 seasons, 8+ wins. So it's always 8 or 9 wins. He just can't get over that hump. But I think with this schedule, he possibly could. And if that happens, I've got him too low at 23, and we've got him way too low at 39.
I liked them to beat Virginia in the opener when it was in Brazil. I'll stick with it with the game being played week 0 in Charlottesville. But Vandy, losable game. Louisville, losable game. Cal, losable game. Duke, losable. Syracuse, you expect a lot out of. Florida State.
No, a lot of losable games. But again, I think the majority of these games, I mean, I think they're going to be favored in 10 or 11 games.
Worst case scenario, 6-6 in my opinion, though.
Yeah, worst case. And I would be shocked if they're 6-6 if Bailey stays healthy. Now, losing Hollywood Smothers is a big deal. Your best defensive player, linebacker Caden Fordham, is now with your Bucks, 143 tackles last year. Defense has got to be better. Only 20 sacks and only 9 picks last year. But again, this is just a red carpet rollout of an ACC schedule. So if I'm looking for a dark horse in the ACC, NC State with this schedule is your team.
Probably one of the least not disrespected coaches. How do you sum up Dave Doran? He's
the Eli Drinkwitz of the ACC.
He's one of those guys that does a really good job, and other coaches say he does a really good job, but people like us don't give him enough respect.
Well, I don't know if it was Brown or you or both, but I've always said I think Dave Doran's done a really good job. I think it was Brown that is like, this is the year he gets blown out. Now, I could be wrong, but I have heard that before. I've always thought Dave Doran for what the job is. Like, I mean, this is not – I mean, would you think NC State is kind of the Missouri of the ACC? Is that fair?
I think that's a good, fair comparison, and I would assume in that neck of the woods, NC State, NIL not the same as North Carolina and Duke, and just that triangle there?
I wouldn't think, I think NC State, though, is better at football than they are at basketball now, though.
I would love somebody to give me a cheat sheet on what are the good NILs and not good NILs in major college sports.
I don't know if we're ever going to figure that out because much like back in the days when everybody was cheating, I still think there are a lot of numbers behind the scenes in NIL that just won't get disclosed.
We will talk more of our 40 and 40 every day. One team, NC State, today's team at 39. We'll do 38 tomorrow. By the way, I'm keeping up, Brooks, with colors as we unveil these. So far, primary color red 2, other colors 0. As we go through the rankings, let's see if red is a color of success in college football.
I think it is one of the best nicknames in Wolfpack.
You like Wolfpack?
But I think the wolf on the helmet is a little too much. A little too aggressive.
I think this year they're going back. See if you can find me a quick search, Brooks, or anyone of Forrester, Cheese. I think this year they're going back to a more traditional helmet, that big oversized wolf is off the helmet.
Good. Should be.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I like Wolfpack. I like the wolf. I just don't like the hat on the wolf, like the angry wolf with the hat.
Yeah.
Take the hat off, just maybe the angry wolf. Speaking of which, do you have any idea what kind of hat this is?
That is not an LA Ram hat.
It is not.
That is a
I'll be very impressed if you can pull this.
That is a...
Because Bo, our president up here, was like, you got a new Rams hat?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's a Ram.
Yeah, that is...
it's Forrester. Forrester should know this.
Yeah. It is... It's a lucky hat.
It is a in-state university.
Oh, wow.
The University of Mobile Rams.
Yep.
I did not know.
Yeah,
Mobile.
Lucy Spistow.
Yeah, I was going to say Spistow hooked you up, didn't he?
Yeah, well, I saw he had one of these shirts on. I was like, damn, man, I like that off-brand Rams. And the next day he brought me one of these. He's an unofficial scout for the University of Mobile, by the way.
Yeah, well, I never knew Mobile College. Is it University of Mobile now? Mobile College back
University of Mobile now.
University of Mobile. I didn't know the Rams was there.
I didn't either until Lucy signed with them last year.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Signed with him and then killed it.
Yeah, she had a hell of a year.
So did anybody find NC State information? I swear I thought I saw they're going back to a more traditional look on their helmet.
Hey, I didn't realize I've got NC State colors on today, Dunaway.
Unintentional?
Unintentional. Hey, I wore still, flying the flag a little bit for our great United States and kind of a mourning of a black hat.
I have not seen anything on NC State.
Well, I have weird dreams, so maybe I dreamed it, but I believe it is. I believe they're going back to a more traditional helmet.
Well, here when their guy went to the Manning Passing Academy, they put this out, and it's still got the big old.
Yeah, that's last year's uniform, though.
Now, we did talk on the show last week about like logos and stuff, and I mentioned that NC State basically had the logo that all the old school teams used to use. Like it looks like the old tiger that we were talking about with the hats.
Yeah.
Now, you were up there when Stallings took an Alabama team, I think it was in 1996, and they go into Raleigh and they play Mike Kane, and you've talked about the kind of the back and forth between Kane and Stallings. That is always on television looks like such a boring venue.
I agree.
Carter Finley.
One of those stadiums in the ACC where I think you've got to be able to see trees from the playing surface by rule, donation-wise. The big donors said just don't take away the trees.
You're not being facetious.
No, absolutely. I'll try to do some research on that.
It was in EA Sports Top 25. It was like number 23 on their toughest places to play, though.
Yeah, that is not true.
I don't think you can win a national championship if you can see trees from your stadium, from the playing field.
I would agree with that. I think if you can see trees, that you have no shot at a national
you really
championship.
Don't,
Dave Doran recently on with Andy and Ari Wasserman asked Dave Doran how much pride he takes in his longevity now at NC State. Here's the coach.
How much pride do you take in just the longevity and the ability to stick at one place and to, have success long-term doing it the way that you were doing it?
Yeah, it's kind of surreal. A million things have happened since I got here, but it's gone really fast. We were talking yesterday, Sarah and I, about something that happened. We're like, well, when was that? And we figured out it was 8 years ago. And we're like, holy cow. I mean, like some of the things that are going on and, former players now coming back. And I think I got 7 of them working on my staff. I take a lot of pride in it. And, to be the winningest head coach here and to be able to, do the things that we're doing inside this building. I have a lot of pride in it. To say that I raised 3 sons in one city from elementary school to middle school to high school was great for their upbringing. And so you don't always get to do that. And obviously I've had to stay. I've had opportunities to leave and they've had to want to keep me when I've had a couple down years. And so I think there's been loyalty on both sides that hopefully is appreciated.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you're able to raise 3 kids in one city when you're a coach like that. They bounce around a ton.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I would think that is he the longest tenured in the ACC or second longest behind Dabo?
Behind Dabo, right?
Okay. What year did Dabo take over?
2008 part-time, 2009 full-time. Is that correct? Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, he's 2012, 2011.
Yeah.
So, but it's close. So,
Very close.
And I would think if you're just going overall, Kirk Ferentz is going to be your guy, but just overall tenured coach at one place, he's got to be in the top 5.
Easily
yeah.
in that situation. All right, that's our 40 and 40 today. Our viewing menu with no Tyler today, brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about Michelson.
Yeah, again, if you wear contacts, glasses, now is the time to make that phone call that I made way back in 2003. Dr. Mort Michelson, the first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. Him and Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy for more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
What are you watching that's good?
What am I watching that is good right now? I will tell you, the Apple show, Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed, is good.
It is?
It is good. It is off the beaten path. Nobody's talking about it. Very, very good.
Is this the one, I try not to give too much away, where it appears the lady is a serial killer and she doesn't know it?
No.
Okay.
Now, it might look like that. This is the lady that is going through or has gone through the divorce. She got cheated on by the ex. Now they're in a custody battle for their daughter. She takes a liking to a cam boy, they call him. And then she gets blackmailed and murder and mayhem, and she gets falsely accused, and it's just a lot of ups and downs. But it's a really, really good, solid Apple show.
Yeah.
And Apple's one of those, to me, they're hit or miss. Like HBO is almost always spot on. Apple, I could take it or leave it.
Silo season 3 is back. I watched episode 1.
I had to tap out during the first season.
Season 2 was pretty good. Season 3's off to a very bad start.
Again, they run out of ideas.
They do, but again, much like what's the one that's underground now that it's on? I think it's also on Apple.
Yeah, it's the one where the dude flew off in the plane, and I stopped watching it.
Yeah. And it takes a very AI ending to season 2. Silo
Paradise, was it Paradise?
Paradise, that's right. Now all of a sudden it's they're out of the bunker, almost like Lost, walking around in Washington D.C.
Yeah, and I'm watching Cape Fear. Are you watching?
I am not. No.
It's gotten really weird. Like Javier Bardem is a great actor. I know Forrester would agree with me. One of the greatest villains in cinema history, Antoine Chigurh, and No Country for Old Men. But he's playing Max Cady, which was played by, I guess, Robert Mitchum in the original, and then by Robert De Niro in the 1992 Martin Scorsese. But this has got like a voodoo element to it. Very, very graphic, which doesn't bother me, but. They were on an acid trip in the latest episode. It's just taking a lot of weird turns, and some of the scenes are preposterous, and I'm like, I don't know how it's doing this, but still watching.
Yeah, that's realistic.
Yeah.
Acid trips, people do that. When we come back, Clay joins the show. Smart grades deserve smart rewards. Hard to imagine we're almost just a month away from being back in school for your kids. At Central State Bank, they're helping young achievers save for the future, 1A at a time. Open a Young Savers account today, and when report cards roll in, send it over. Your student could earn up to $10 for those A's and B's. It's banking that celebrates hard work and builds lifelong habits. That's just one part of a family-owned, community-focused financial institution. That's the great folks at Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing
3000.
problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the next round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour 2 now. Clay Travis joins the show in a moment. One developing story for Alabama basketball. Not a surprise if you follow the show, but it's official now. The matchup is set for this year's RX Benefits CM Newton Classic at Legacy Arena. It is Rick Pitino and St. John's coming to Birmingham to play Alabama. December 12th is the date down at Legacy Arena.
Well, you know, that is one of those great brands that has been brought back from the 80s, and Pitino is instrumental in that. But it's like, how many opportunities do you get to see St. John's play?
Very few, and
so
very few more chances to see Rick Pitino.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's 2 brands right there, you know, in one arena on December 12th.
And St. John will be at least a top 10 team to start the year, maybe more because they've done work in the portal. So another great out-of-conference game for Nate Oates and Alabama, the CM Newton Classic in Birmingham, and it's December 12th. Get your tickets there, as you always do, at the CM Newton Classic website with our buddies in IDD that put that on every year. December 12th is the date for that year's game. Our friends at Inverness Country Club gets us to hour number 2, and again, day 2 without Brown on their golf course.
Yeah, they've got memberships that fit everyone. I don't know if you were able to get a round in yesterday with the rain that came, because
around some rain, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you play in rain though, right?
I try to. I don't like it, but if I'm out there, I'll fight through it.
They have got memberships that fit everyone. That newly renovated clubhouse and dining, fantastic food there. That resort style pool, childcare is also a massive plus. State of the art fitness center. Get in, see Aaron and the fine folks there. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, iccalabama.com.
All right. When Clay joins us in a moment, we'll talk about everything going on with the U.S. getting eliminated from the World Cup now and the interest level moving forward. One note from baseball, the All-Star team was announced, a typical, 5 Dodgers, 5 Braves, 5 Phillies, surprisingly 4 Tampa Bay Rays. Mike Trout got voted to the All-Star game for the 11th time by the fans, 11 times. Cal Ripken Jr. 17 times, George Brett 11 times, and Mike Trout 11 times. Those are the most voted on by the fans in American League history.
Wow. And Trout, still a ton of power, but really struggling at the plate. He does have 17 bombs, but hitting .234. And that's going to, I think at the end of this, and you remember Buster telling this, Buster Olney from ESPN a couple of years ago when he was a regular guest, talking about that Trout is one of the greatest baseball players of all time, but he's going to be one of those careers, like I don't know another guy we could compare him to. Like Dan Marino seems so different because Marino did play in a Super Bowl, we still talk about Dan Marino to this day, but like in 25, 30 years, I don't know if we'll be talking about Mike Trout. It's been so just off the grid.
Because of no team success
Right.
and being West Coast. Who else has had no team success?
I mean, Barry Sanders, but we still talk about Barry Sanders.
Yeah, Barry Sanders, because we got to see him every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I guess the NFL is going to be different. Like, I don't know if we can include the NFL. This might be more of an NBA discussion, but I'm trying to think of somebody that was just an incredible.
If you go further back, I mean, O.J. Simpson, and they were never in the playoffs.
Yeah, but there was something about O.J. Simpson, from the acting, the budget, commercials, the Heisman Trophy. I mean, it was just different. Like Mike Trout is one of the greatest professional athletes of the last 25 years, but we won't talk about this guy in 25 years, sadly.
Yeah. I don't think about Peyton Manning's Tennessee years very often because they never won anything.
Very good, though. And I think the thing you remember, two things I remember the most is the year after, ironically, they won it with T. Martin, but the Heisman Trophy that kind of got ripped from him from Charles Woodson.
Keith with a great point in the chat room. Dale Murphy, really, really good Atlanta Braves.
Couldn't even scratch the surface of Mike Trout.
But a good player had success, but you really don't think about much anymore after all these years.
I'm just thinking about like the elite of the elite because that's what Mike Trout has been.
Yeah. All right, Clay joins us as we get ready to talk to Clay. I'll remind you, our friends at Innisfree give you the countdown to kickoff in this college football era. 54 days away from week 0. Your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere at Innisfree, 54 days away.
Outkick founder and Fox contributor Clay Travis joins us every Tuesday right here on The Next Round. Clay, I analogized it's the deadbeat dad you see once a year. He brings you a present, spends the weekend, you think he's back in your life, then he leaves you on another adventure. You don't see him for another year. He breaks your heart. That is U.S. soccer every 4 years for us. How did you feel after the embarrassing performance last night against Belgium?
I thought it was inexcusably bad. I mean, that's a pretty dark comparison from you. I think in general, look, in 2002, so let me start with the positive. I think the U.S. hosting the World Cup has been awesome. And the amount of people from all over the world who have come here and experienced sometimes things you take for granted in the United States, I think has been really fun to see our world through their eyes. So I'll start with that positive on a big picture. And frankly, I'm going to continue to watch as the elite games play themselves out. I don't know how many of you watched the Mexico England game a couple of days ago.
Crazy.
I mean, it was fantastic.
Yep.
I mean, just awesome. So
yeah, I mean, Clay, we were talking, not to jump in, but we were talking the atmosphere. Like, I can't, in any sporting event, Super Bowls are so corporate, like your best Saturday night in Baton Rouge, I don't think could match the intensity and atmosphere that Azteca Stadium had on Sunday night.
yeah, I mean, I think it was the closest comparison is certainly a big time college football night game, which is a better environment than any pro sports league. And so, yeah, I thought it was awesome. And I think a lot of these games going forward will still be really good. Now, negative. I got a bunch, and you should have a bunch if you watched that game last night, got your hopes up, and then watched us just get utterly dominated and crushed. We have not been to the round of 8 since 2002, and you guys can fact check me on this if I'm wrong. I believe we basically for the last 24 years, we have failed to achieve what we achieved in 2002. Also, we have not, as a country, really advanced beyond what we did in 1994. We've had 32 years to move into the top 10-ish of international soccer, and we haven't done it. And this was our best opportunity. I think we are every bit as talented as Belgium. I mean, I don't think the odds makers around the world who had us favored got it completely wrong. I think our guys showed up They were intimidated. They played poorly. Christian Pulisic, who was supposed to be our best player, played one good half in the entire World Cup, and he was awful last night.
Well, he's not an elite.
timid.
He's not an elite player, Clay. He's not.
Yeah, but I do think he is the most skilled he should be in at this point on our team. And if you look at all of the best players on the teams that are advancing, one of the reasons why I think this World Cup has been so entertaining is the best players on the best teams are performing at an elite level, and we don't have that. Now, positive, we scored 8 goals, we won 3 games. We put ourselves in a position where we played a more exciting brand of soccer. I think it's hard for people out there who say soccer sucks to watch these games and actually still have that opinion. So I think all those things are positive, but I've been arguing this for a long time, and I don't know if it's controversial or not, but Europe is far more committed to developing elite stars. European socialist countries treat soccer in just a rabid capitalistic fashion where they go and they find 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, they put them into academies, and they develop them. And if you're not good enough at 14, they kick you out and say, hey, go find something else to do, kid. We aren't willing to do that in the United States. And people say, oh, we don't have our best athletes. That's one of the laziest arguments out there. I don't know if you put our team in a combine against every other team's athletes and you just ran 40s and you just did shuttle drills or whatever else you wanted to do, I'm confident our guys are every bit as athletic or better in athleticism. We're not as skilled, and that's a flaw. And I think generationally we have to make some changes if we want to contend to actually try and win a World Cup.
So you're saying we should take a bunch of 10 to 12-year-old Americans and ship them off to Europe and let them grow up over there?
No, I actually think we should have our own American soccer academies. I think we should. And look, I get it. I mean, it's tough. I mean, I've got 3 kids. But if you look at the greatest European soccer teams, they are developing 10, 11, 12-year-old kids, and you can see it in the way they play. By the time those kids get to be 18 years old, they have passed and handled every aspect of soccer hundreds of thousands, if not millions of more times than our average kids have. And I think that's what it takes to be truly, truly great in soccer. And, we have a system. I'll use my family as an example. I mean, my son who plays soccer is not going to be a World Cup soccer player, but he loves it. We pay, I don't know, around $5,000 a year to be part of a traveling team. He goes and plays a lot of games, and he's going to be a good high school soccer player, right? But a lot of our best players are being funneled into high school and college, whereas in Europe, they're being funneled into pro elite. And look, there's probably 5,000 kids that are right now 12 years old in America that have the potential to one day be World Cup caliber players, right? Let's just say maybe it's 3,000 or 2,000, right? It's a funnel. And are we developing those kids as well as Europe is developing theirs? No, look, Belgium only has 11 million people. So people out there who say, well, we don't have, we've got a 350 million people population. We can be great at every sport. And a lot of the guys that are great at many American sports, basketball, football, baseball. I mean, you can, what is Messi, 5'8"? If you're under 6 feet tall and you're a great athlete, you probably should be playing soccer. You guys tell me, what are the odds that if you're under 6 feet tall, you're truly going to be elite at almost any other sport in America? They're very slim. You could be the greatest soccer player in the world and be 5'10".
You know, Clay, I think another thing that is frustrating is we did our part as America. Like, I just felt like we were all in. Like, the buzz was incredible. And I just wanted to win last night to extend the week to get to the quarterfinals. Yeah. And then it's understandable when you lose to Spain. I just don't know why. This morning, you know, I was telling Dunaway when we came on the air, I'm kicking myself in the ass for buying in because it's almost like we've got a long enough track record. Like, Adam Sandler's not going to make a good movie. He's been making shitty movies for 30 years. I mean, like, you know what you're getting, and it's kind of like the same thing, but it felt different. I don't know why.
Well, we're better. We are better, right? I mean, there are lots of years where we were
you say that
struggling
real quick, though, Clay. You've got an MLS goalkeeper that made one of the most baffling gaffes last night. Again, our alpha is making $6 million. When you look at the Haalands and the Mbappes and the Kanes and the Messis, they're making 35, 40 million. I mean, those are the Josh Allens of soccer. We've got Jacoby Brissett is our star.
Yeah, look, but that doesn't mean we couldn't have made the round of 8, right? I'm not saying that we should go out and win a championship, and I don't think most people were. Although it would be fun to have extended it. Our guys didn't show up. I think the moment was too big for them. And that's unfortunate because, again, globally, we were favored to win this game. Vegas doesn't make a ton of mistakes. We played our worst game in the World Cup. Belgium probably played their best. I think it was them having been on the big stage for a lot of these big games before, and the moment got too big for our guys. I mean, that goalie error, I played high school soccer. Our coach would have pulled the goalie and replaced him if he did that in one of our games. I mean, that's inexcusably awful, right? I mean, I don't have any other way to put it. Our defense, the goals that we gave up, I mean, the first goal, we had 3 guys standing around watching in the box, not going after the ball aggressively. The Belgium guy takes it. They walk it in, right? The second goal, embarrassing. You know, we had double coverage on the guy, and he just bitched us, right? I mean, just flat. I mean, you get bitched by a Belgian dude. I mean, I think you got to question a lot of your balls and your manhood, candidly. And he basically dunked on us, balls in the face, for the second goal. Fourth goal, look, I mean, we gave it away. They were already beaten. But I just think we performed at an awful level, and we deserve all the criticism. Like, Belgium won. Give them credit. They walked into a stadium where everybody hated them, and they dominated. It actually reminded me a little bit, you want to use a sports analogy, it reminded me of when in year 2 under Saban, Alabama went into Georgia at night and was up 35-0 and just kind of said, hey, the funeral game, if you guys remember the Scott Cochran, they're going to a funeral because they're wearing black. It felt like that kind of game. Where the visiting team just came in and took over the entire stadium.
Yeah, great analogy. By the way, I didn't, or great reference there, remembering that great Alabama moment there. It felt exactly like that. I didn't think you were Krampus, by the way, going to steal American kids and send them to Europe. I was just trying to make a point that playing in those academies over there against great European kids, that maybe we would get better. I want to ask you about...
Well, by the way, 9 of our 11... I believe, not our goalie and not the 38-year-old Ream. I believe I'm correct that 9 of our 11 players are on Euro Pro teams now. So right. There is a higher level of talent than we've had in the past.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron, so we're getting a lot better by playing in those academies or in those leagues and then coming back and playing for the good old US of A. I wanted to ask you about our coach, though, because apparently there's an offer to pay him through the next World Cup on the table. A good move or bad move? One of us up here thinks that would be a bad move.
I mean, look, we paid an assassin to go out and eliminate a target. He was unable to do it. I mean, we always get to 16. We're paying this guy elite money now. Like, go on and fire the guy.
Well, I would bring him back. I do think we played a more exciting brand of soccer than we've ever seen before. I mean, the numbers reflect that. We scored, if I'm not mistaken, what did we score? 11 goals in the World Cup. I don't think we'd ever scored more than 6 or 7 in the history of the United States, right? Now, our defense kind of crumbled. We used to be a lot stronger defensively. I think we got to get better at goalie. I think we got to get better at in the fullbacks in the defensive backfield. But I would bring him back. I mean, I'm not sure he wants to come back, and the cost is a rounding error to me, right? When you're talking about, hey, this guy costs $15 million or whatever. We got internet influencers making Mr. Beast is making $100 million a year. I think having a great soccer coach for $15 million a year doesn't feel crazy, and I don't even know that he's making that dollar figure. I'm just saying that amount of salary doesn't feel excessive to me.
Okay, so away from soccer, I'm sure you were invited to the Kelsey Swift wedding. Seems like everybody was invited. Do you think we'll ever see another billionaire rent out an arena for, again, to each their own? The whole thing was weird to me. I don't know where you were on this Kelsey Swift wedding. I never believed it was a real relationship. But to have a wedding at Madison Square Garden with Adam Sandler officiating, just it's almost like it was a script that was written. A bad script.
She puts on an immaculate concert. She's a showgirl.
Yeah, but it's your wedding.
Yeah, it's another.
I thought it was. I thought it was weird to have 1,000 people. A lot of these people are super famous and barely knew them. It sounds like Adam Sandler doing the ceremony. Maybe there is going to be. I don't know if it was recorded.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, right. But recorded to be distributed, right? Are they going to put it on Netflix or Amazon or wherever the heck else and make $100 million on it and
Apple
donate
TV.
that to charity?
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, she, I think, has proven herself to be a really good business person. She's obviously a multi-billionaire. She is in Nashville, and I have heard good things about her on a, just kind of personal interaction level. She obviously works super hard. I've said on my show that she's the modern day Beatles, and people get mad at me when I say that, but by which I mean she's going to be able to tour till she's 70 or 75, like Paul McCartney and whatever the Rolling Stones crew has been till she's 80 if she wants to. Her audience is going to stick with her. And I think a lot of her songs are going to endure for a long time. So I think she deserves a lot of credit for her career. But yeah, getting married in front of 1,000 people in Madison Square Garden sounds miserable to me.
Yeah, but I think you nailed it right there, and we talked about it earlier. There's a good chance that they had a small family gathering, got married already like a month earlier, and this was all for a documentary that she probably owns the production company now, and it's going to be released on Apple or Amazon, and it's going to make millions by doing that as well.
So weird and tacky, though. But, again, to each their own.
I think, look, it'll be interesting to see how her life changes as I think she likely wants to become a parent, right? So as she has multiple kids, what is her life going to be like compared to what it has been so far? She, as an artist, has been uniquely self-obsessed. I think it's fair to say, even by artistic standards. And so to what extent is that going to change for her now that she's married and presumably now that she's going to have kids? I think that will be an interesting evolution.
Now, we brought this up yesterday. Kids change the dynamic, but if I ask you gun to head, Kalen DeBoer at Alabama or, what lasts longer, this marriage or Kalen DeBoer at Alabama?
This marriage.
Well, that's probably bad to ask you about DeBoer. How about Lane Kiffin at LSU or this marriage?
I think Lane has lasted, I think Lane will be at LSU. What is Lane, 50 now? I think Lane will last at LSU for 5 or more years. I just don't know where he would go, right? So I don't believe that he's not going to succeed. So I don't think LSU is going to fire him. So I think you can take that off the table. He may not win, multiple championships, but I don't think he's going to get fired. And then if you're looking at it, where else would he go? Right? Like he's reached the point now at LSU where I think he's at the absolute apex of a college football program. He doesn't seem to me like a guy who wants to go back to the NFL.
No, I agree with that. But what do you think lasts longer, his tenure at LSU or the marriage?
there's a possibility that the marriage actually lasts, right? So if I were setting odds, maybe they're going to be married for 20 years. I wouldn't make it lightly. I wouldn't make it likely.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't think Lane Kiffin is going to be at LSU for double-digit years.
No, I would agree. But I would put my hard-earned money against your millions and millions of dollars that Lane Kiffin at LSU makes it longer than Kelsey and Swift.
LT has the
but I've already lost on this one. I lost a bet with a bunch of friends. I never thought they would marry because I think Travis Kelsey is a moron.
I agree.
And I actually think Taylor Swift is smart. And
I agree with that.
I just expected that at some point she was going to be like, you are just too dumb. I can't spend the rest of my life with you. But I got that one wrong. So
I'm sending you the lyrics to the song Wood real quick, and that may change your whole feeling about that relationship totally.
Well, what's embarrassing is the lyrics to Wood.
It's about Travis.
I would also point out that being good looking fades to the extent that Travis Kelsey is considered to be a good looking guy or not. Whether you're a moron or not does not fade. So that is going to last for the rest of life.
Yeah, LT has it lasting 3 years.
I would think 3. Again, the kid does change the dynamic. Like if she gets knocked up in the next 6 months to a year, then I would have to extend it out. But if they make it a year without her being pregnant, I think it gets dicey.
I would say all of her music is about wanting to be married and live happily ever after. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but I'm saying like she hasn't shown to me that she's the kind of person who's going to go full, Elizabeth Taylor or J-Lo, to use a modern example, and be married to like 4 or 5 different people. So I already lost on whether they were going to get married. At this point, I think it goes double digits.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you though, as a fan of hers, it'll be interesting to see if she can write songs about being happy and not going through breakups and or yearning for the love story forever and ever.
I think that's very fair. The truth is, is she going to do songs about having kids? Are people going to respond to those?
But Clay, will she take the break? She's such a grinder. Like, is she really going to take that year or year plus that she needs to become a mom? I know she wants to become one, but that's a big gap in the career.
I agree. What is she, 36? I think it's fair to ask those questions.
Yep. That's Clay Travis with us on the Shannara Hotline. All right, Clay, enjoy your day, man. We'll see you soon, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
That's Clay Travis with us. The Shannara Hotline, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, every day on the show, and also brought to you by our friends at Crane U, LT. If you're looking to change careers in 2026, Crane U can help you out.
Yeah, whether you talk to Nicole or Francis, make sure you tell them the next round sent you when you reach out to them. If you're curious about a career in the crane industry, the first big step, getting certified, becoming fully compliant, Crane U is here to guide you every single step of the way. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U has got it handled. It's the one call you make and you are good. Go online today for more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
Sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio. No need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorney. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Schnarr trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Schnarr trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Second half of the show now, being brought to you in part by the great folks at Hemp Hill. That heat index hitting triple digits all the time until probably October now. You need to make sure that air conditioning is kicking.
Yeah, look, you're running it nonstop. You need to make sure it's properly serviced if it goes out. Unfortunately, never ideal. But the good news is you've got the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for any plumbing, heating, cooling issues, home or business. They are ready to serve you at Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Big 12 Media Days today and tomorrow going on at the Star in Frisco. They've released their all-conference team already without looking who is the all-conference Big 12 quarterback. First team Big 12 quarterback all-conference.
It is not Brendan Sorsby. I will go it is not. Devin Dampier.
It is not Devin Dampier.
Bear Bachmeier.
It is not Bear Bachmeier.
It's not Avery Johnson.
It's not Avery Johnson. It's Noah Fafita
of
Arizona.
Yeah. I mean, he was their offensive. I don't know how that escaped me. He was their offensive. Well, was he their offensive player of the year last year? I know he was the end of the year all Big 12 quarterback. Yeah. So, I mean, he's been there forever.
So he's back. He is. He's virtually a 4-year starter.
Still got his rat tail.
L.J. Martin is one of the running backs from BYU. Cam Cook from Jacksonville State to West Virginia is the other all Big 12, voted on by the coaches, running back. That's great respect for the guy who's following Rich Rod basically from Jack State to West Virginia.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it shows you not only his talent, also Rich Rod, his commitment to running the football.
In that conference, Scott Frost and Rich Rod are retreads at their school, UCF in West Virginia. With the job they did last year, did that impress you, what they did last year, to make you think that this second time around for both of them could be good? Probably not as good as their first time around, but that it ended up being good hires for UCF in West Virginia?
I don't know. You know, the retread is always difficult. Bill Snyder was able to recapture it when he came back to Manhattan, Kansas. Rich Rod, it's going to be impossible. I mean, look, they were 4-8 last year. I don't think you're ever going to see Rich Rod, what he had with Pat White and Steve Slayton and those great players. And then UCF, I mean, that was a perfect season for Scott Frost. They were 5-7 last year.
But I'm saying where those programs were trending, they're not going to reach what they did, but were they good hires? Would they get the program respectable again? Because nobody's talking about the hole UCF had fallen into with Gus Malzahn there.
Yeah, but, they were still 7-8 wins. I mean, much like Gus does every single year when he was coaching, wherever he was coaching. I don't know. It does seem, we brought this up yesterday to Bruce Feldman. We were talking specifically about the Big 12, that it was going to be one of these conferences that, in and out every other year, you wouldn't be able to pick who was going to win the conference. With Texas Tech's NIL money, it seems like they're going to be at the top. But it seems like, going back to last year when you had two 12-win teams in Texas Tech and BYU and then an 11-win team in Utah, it seems like it's their conference. Now, could Houston pop up with their schedule and win it this year? Possibly, but I do feel like it's Texas Tech, Utah, BYU.
And I should make a point on Gus Malzahn first, at UCF, he was there as they transitioned from being a group of 5 program into being a Big 12 program. So it was he had a tougher hill to fight than Scott Frost did there in Orlando his first time around. On that all Big 12 team, just one Texas Tech player on offense, and it's the tight end Terrence Carter. 5 Texas Tech players on the first team defense.
Well, look, defense wasn't the problem last year. We saw that. But, once they get to a college football playoff and they square up with Oregon, they've got no offense. They didn't score a touchdown. And, I think the problem's going to be, again, without Sorsby, how healthy is Will Hammond and how good can this offense be? They've got to get that to another level if they want to not only win the Big 12, but, get to the college football playoff in advance.
2 more Big 12 Media Day questions. It's our Spotlight today, brought to you by our friend Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. When Alexander started out, he wanted to make sure he had a local firm that was good all over the country. 25 years, he's built a firm of 150 lawyers, supported by 500 dedicated team members, elite trial lawyers who've recovered $2 billion by maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. They handle not only personal injury claims, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' comp, and a host of other claims. When you need a lawyer, it's Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing less. They win the case. Willie Fritz, good coach? In your opinion, he's now the coach, of course, at Houston, for those that don't know that are listening or watching. Was at Tulane. Says he tells Pete Nakos of On3 he left Tulane to go to Houston to chase a national championship.
Zero chance that he will ever be able to do that. But I do think he's a good coach. I think Summerall did a little bit. He is the one that set the table at Tulane. I do think Summerall did a little bit better with what he got at Tulane. But I think Fritz is a good coach. I mean, they won 10 games last year. Connor Wegman coming back as your quarterback, again, with that schedule. I think they can make some noise this year. But I don't think it's realistic for anybody in the Big 12 to win a national championship. Maybe once every 10 years, maybe.
Ooh, once every 10 years. Well, I would say ACC, Big 12 combined once every 10 years.
I mean, ACC, again, if we would have had this discussion last year, we'd be like, Clemson could do it this year. Now people think Miami could do it this year. I don't know if I'd combine them. I think that might be a little dangerous.
But that means the Big Ten and the SEC are not winning it.
I know. But, I mean, you think about what you and I have is and a little bit different, but our national championship matchup as of now is a team that was just in the Pac-12 3 years ago and an independent.
Yeah.
In Notre Dame and Oregon. Like, do I think Utah could have a special year one year? If Texas Tech would have gotten Sorsby, I mean, I know you weren't high on it, but
a special year, but then winning the national championships, they could have a special year like USA Soccer did.
I get it, but I mean, you just look the last couple of years at just last year, what Miami did playing for the national championship, Ole Miss a play away from playing for the national championship. I mean, those just didn't seem like programs that could win one. I think we are in a different era. I think the Big 12 is probably as exciting as that league can be at times, week in and week out. I just think in the pecking order, as far as trying to identify a national champion, I know TCU played for one a few years ago, which is kind of incredible. Arizona State was really good a couple of years ago. Texas Tech defensively was really good last year. But they seem a long way away from winning a national championship.
What is success for Deion Sanders at Colorado this year?
Getting back to a bowl. I mean, 1-8 in conference last year, 3-9 overall. You've got a 5-star quarterback that is back for his second year. You should see growth there. But, you get your parts picked. Jordan Seaton now to LSU. When you develop players, you're going to lose these guys. And I just think if Deion was able to get bowl eligible at 6-6, I think that would be a step in the right direction. I think you agree with me. I don't know how much longer Prime is going to be in Boulder. Like I'm already surprised that he was there as long as he was.
Yeah, he's there 1 year longer than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a difficult schedule. Like, they open at Tech. They're going to be underdogs. And then they got Weber State, but then they go to Northwestern in that new stadium. I mean, they're going to be underdogs there at Baylor, Texas Tech, Utah, at Oak State, who's going to be much improved, Kansas State, at Arizona State, Houston. I mean, to me, it's like a 2 or 3 win. And I said this a couple of years ago and they surprised everyone. But it looks like, and I forgot what their win total is, probably 3.5. I would play the under 3.5.
Some upsets, projected upset alerts in the SEC this year from our friend Chris Phillips at SEC Unfiltered. After LT tells you about our great friends at New York Butcher Shop. Did you get by there yesterday to get some steaks?
I did. Our friend Jim was not there. He was at the Cava Heights location. We stopped in. Me and Maddie picked up a couple of steaks, 119 location. They were fantastic. Grabbed a really, really good bottle of wine, a red blend last night. Just the best, from the steaks, the ribs, the chicken, the pork, the in-house sides made fresh every single day. Fantastic selection of the fine wines and desserts. 2 locations, the original Cava Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
I'm really into the red blends this year.
I like them. I mean, I like a good jammy, heavy cab, but like there's something about a really good red blend as well.
Yeah, me too. I don't know why I've really got to where I enjoy those. I used to stay away from that. Chris Phillips, cool dude, SEC Unfiltered. He put out a list of upset alert games in 2026. He's not saying all these are going to be upsets, but just like we do upset alert on Tuesdays, these are games to keep an eye on. I don't know why people keep saying Alabama at Mississippi State. Like, he's not the only one that have said that.
Well, I think because what we saw from State last year and the scare that they put into Texas. And then what was the other really close miss for Mississippi State? Was it Tennessee?
Texas and Tennessee sounds right.
I mean, the Texas was crazy.
Was it Georgia?
No, I don't think it was Georgia. Anyway, they were really close last year. And if you think that Jeff Lebby has got this trending up in year 3, and for Kalen DeBoer it's trending down in year 3, I could see why you would have it there. I mean, that would be based on the schedule. And we've talked about 4 games. Like Alabama knows this. You've got the 12-game schedule. 4 of those games on paper really difficult. You go 2-2, you should be 10-2. You lose a game in Starkville. It's like the loss last year to Florida State. That could keep you out of the college football playoff. But I can see why Chris Phillips would put it on his list.
That's the only Alabama that's on the list from Chris. There's 2 Auburn, 1 positive, 1 negative. Auburn hosting Vandy. Vandy's such an unknown for me.
Yeah, I agree. You know, you guys had Vanderbilt as the team that the window had closed. You know, we brought up Diego Pavia. You know, I mean, obviously he was a generational quarterback for Vanderbilt.
And I understand how talented a 5-star quarterback Jared Curtis is, but what can he do in year 1?
I mean, that's the question. But you know,
does he have a Eli Sowers and
and Clark Lee? I mean, is this more Clark Lee and the culture that he's built there at Vanderbilt? I do think Vanderbilt. I shouldn't say never. We're not going to see over the next couple of years the bad Vanderbilt version that we saw in the past, because I do think there is more of a commitment there. To me, that's not a massive upset. I mean, Vanderbilt was the 10-win team last year.
That's a great point. But on the betting boards, that will definitely be Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, Auburn will be favored
at home at Jordan-Hare Stadium. LSU at Auburn, with Auburn being the team pulling the upset in this scenario, Lane Kiffin taking to the road.
Well, I think every year you were going to see Auburn, like when they're not necessarily an elite program because of that home field advantage in Jordan-Hare, I think they're always a possibility they're going to be able to spring that upset.
Yeah. Let me see the Alabama and Auburn schedule, and we'll get back to a couple of more on this list from Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered. But the Alabama and Auburn schedule, Forrester, either one first. I want to see where these upset alert games. This is Alabama. Remember, for us, the home games are in white. The colors are always on the road there. So Mississippi State is right before the Georgia game.
I think any game that could be viewed as an upset, and, you know, we'll leave the East Carolina and the Chattanooga off the table, but at Kentucky, Florida State or South Carolina at home, back to that game in Starkville, at Vanderbilt or the Iron Bowl against Auburn, those would be devastating losses for Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah,
devastating.
So I guess people are saying look ahead to Georgia, 4-0 start, look ahead to Georgia, and State catches you on the road. I guess that's why people would consider that.
But if Alabama is not 5-0, you know, it's going to be an interesting season.
Give me the Auburn schedule. I want to see where those two fall. Well, I guess I'll need Auburn, LSU. Give me the Auburn schedule first, and I want to see where Auburn and Vandy falls. Okay, you're after Florida, and before you play Tennessee. So these are sort of trap scenarios there. And then you play LSU on October the 24th. Where does that fall on LSU's schedule? That does seem like that's in the middle of no, it's before it's the Alabama look ahead.
Yeah, back to
Auburn. You got a whole bye week.
Auburn Vanderbilt. You could easily see, Auburn win that neutral site game against Baylor, Southern Miss. They've got Florida at home. Then they're sitting at 3-0. They're going to be favored over Vanderbilt. Everybody's saying, okay, we're going to get 4-0, 1/3 of the season in the rear view. We're 4-0. We're going to Knoxville. That is still a winnable game on paper. That's where Vanderbilt catches you.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, that's Chris Phillips there, SEC Unfiltered. Back to his upset list. Just other big ones around the country. A couple of interesting. Tulsa, possibly upsetting Arkansas.
Bad loss for Ryan Silverfield. I mean, you've got to be able to grab those out-of-conference wins anytime you can get them.
South Alabama possibly upsetting Kentucky.
Oof.
That would be a bad out-of-conference loss for the SEC. Both of those would be. You think Minnesota could be good again this year. Mississippi State at Minnesota. I guess you're playing the upset there would be Mississippi State beating Minnesota?
Yeah, because Minnesota's going to be favored. Well, yeah, Minnesota will be favored against Mississippi State at home.
Yeah.
What a weird home and home, by the way.
On this list, though, Louisville and Ole Miss. And I just think that's that game and the game with Clemson and LSU. 2 games. We're already talking about week 3, those 2 teams playing each other. And both of those I mean, there will be major upsets, but both of those losable games in week 1.
I still think Louisville beating Ole Miss would be worse. I know on the surface people might disagree with this because Lane Kiffin is getting paid all of this money. They're paying all of these other guys like Sam Levitt and Jordan Seaton to come in to Baton Rouge. The NIL has been, outrageous. But if Louisville was to beat Ole Miss in Pete Golding's first regular season game, I think that would be worse because Clemson, although very disappointing last year, is still a brand, right? I mean, which one would you view as the worst loss?
It would be Ole Miss in Louisville.
Yeah. Now, as soon as I say that, then I start thinking LSU, it's get to the college football playoff or bust, back to Urban Meyer talking about like they need to win a national championship like immediately. You and I agree they need to get to a college football playoff. You lose to Clemson week 1 and you've still got that SEC schedule coming up. Very, very difficult to get to that 12-team playoff. So, I mean, both would be devastating losses. And to your point, 9-19 when we've got that matchup, I think everybody wants to see Ole Miss LSU undefeated.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The Clemson, the fact that LSU beat Clemson last year up at Clemson, finally getting over that hump of winning the opener. Remember how many straight losses they had in the opener?
4 straight.
And then that's the year Brian Kelly gets fired. He finally wins that
so
first
weird.
game and he gets fired. So that would be very LSU-like to lose that opener. One thing, I don't know Chris's history at SEC Unfiltered. I think he's a South Carolina guy. I'm not sure. But on here, it looks like it. Georgia at South Carolina, potential upset. Oklahoma against South Carolina, potential upset. He does have South Carolina, Mississippi State, potential upset.
My gosh, he does have South Carolina in there a lot.
Yeah. Cole Thompson, who works at SEC Unfiltered as well, did his. Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina. I guess South Carolina is one of those teams that if Shane Beamer is still coaching at the end of the year, they've had a good year. And when you have a quarterback like Lenora Sellers, that makes it dangerous for an upset.
Yeah, and it's, unfortunately for Shane Beamer, as I do think this is a hot seat year, and when you look at that schedule, I mean, they got to go to Bama, to Florida, to Oklahoma, to Clemson to end the year, but then they've got home games against Georgia, A&M. That's a really, really difficult schedule. But I think Lenore Sellers on a given Saturday, I mean, he is good enough to be able to spring an upset.
One more college football thing to get to in this segment here before we move to hour number 3 of the show, being brought to you by our friends at Odie's, where live music continues every weekend with the great folks at Odie's.
Yeah, every Wednesday they've got the trivia. Every Friday and Saturday, both locations live music. And, of course, every single day, the incredible food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it 4 decades now. The award-winning wings, delicious burgers, fantastic sandwiches like the Diablo sandwich, ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. 2 locations, the original in Crestline, newest location in Edgewood. It's Odie's Tavern.
By the way, Odie's Fest coming up July 25th again. That's a little bit later on this month. Always a good time there at Odie's.
I need to reach out to Will to see who is performing. Do you have any idea?
I do not know. I just saw on my feed that tickets are available for Odie's Fest coming up July the 25th.
I made a suggestion. I told him he needs to go grab the Fray, but I think they're probably still crazy expensive. I mean, the Fray would be one of those off the radar bands that I think people would pay to see.
I would say better than Ezra, but then they have a resurgence going on. They played Red Rocks this week.
Well, if they're playing Red Rocks,
great '90s band out of Baton Rouge, New Orleans, area. I thought they're probably at the level now to roll into Odie's Fest, but you're still getting dates at Red Rocks.
Yeah, I mean, who do you think would be more to book, better than Ezra or the Fray?
For me, better than Ezra. I mean, I love their whole catalog.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, what do you think would be more expensive to book? Which one?
Probably the Fray.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. I'm not into the bookings. But speaking of prices, this is from Goose in the chat room. We were talking about the Heisman house being the real house they use in the commercials being on the market for $32 million. And Goose says that we started the discussion in the office. They were saying which Heisman winner, past Heisman winner, could most afford to purchase the Heisman house. He said Peyton Manning.
Well, he never won a Heisman.
Oh, that's right. Peyton Manning never won the Heisman.
Yeah, so, I mean, that
So
would make
Goose,
sense.
come on.
No, but I mean, a lot of these guys, like Kyler Murray, although, Arizona didn't want him anymore, now playing for Minnesota, that guy's got a ton of money.
Yeah. I found one that will surprise you on how much money he has. And Brooks, I'd love research on how he made his money. But Roger Staubach, and he played in the NFL when NFL wasn't paying anything. I saw his net worth was like $600 million. So Roger could afford it.
I'm going to assume Roger got involved with somebody in the Texas oil business.
You think so?
A J.R. Ewing back when he was playing for the Dallas Cowboys.
So of the guys we saw, see if you can find out how Roger made his money, Brooks, but of the guys who we actually saw in the Heisman house, who had the best financial career? I mean, some of the guys in there were Barry Sanders.
I mean, you've still got guys like Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels that are going to make elite quarterback money. Joe Burrow, elite quarterback money right now. Bryce Young, elite quarterback money. Your man Baker Mayfield, really good quarterback money. Lamar Jackson. I'd probably go Lamar Jackson.
He'd be the guy that would buy it right now?
I would think that he would have the most money of any of these guys. Maybe not Roger Staubach, $600 million, which is crazy.
Am I right? Roger's a $600 million net worth guy. How did he make his money?
So after he retired in 1979, he founded the Staubach Company, a commercial real estate venture that revolutionized the industry. His entrepreneurial success has resulted in the company being worth over $600 million into the 2010s.
Wow.
Good for Staubach.
Another one I was going to throw out there that when you said surprising, I thought you might go Sam Bradford because he was the last quarterback drafted #1 overall before the rookie salary cap.
Oh, that's right.
So his rookie deal was worth over $70 million.
Yeah, but he never got that second really good contract. He was the NFC Rookie of the Year, and then it fell apart because of injuries.
But he did have that first big one before they started putting a
I want to say his
on
career earnings is still like over $150 million. So,
well, I mean, that wouldn't be surprising with Chase Daniel and what he made. But, I mean, look at Lamar Jackson, what he's making right now. I mean, Lamar's got to be the guy.
If not him, then eventually
Joe Burrow, yeah. And then I think after that, probably Caleb Williams. That's the way I would stack it.
Just because what's ahead for him.
Yeah.
All right, 4 downs. In our next segment, we'll do trash a little bit later on today. Show number 1232, 54 days on our Innisfree countdown to kickoff. And the show being brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Jumpstart that weight loss. I was able to knock out 2 pounds the last 2 days after eating nothing but ice cream and cookies and banana nut bread. That's the best thing about Way to Wellness. They can jumpstart your weight loss but help you maintain the weight you lose. Find out what they can do for you by going to the website at planforme.com. Planforme.com. There's no contracts. There's no sign-up fees. And your first consultation is absolutely free. Injection therapy to meal replacements is all right there. The website at planforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing? Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical office, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
As always, the final hour of the show brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 there in Alabaster. And again, there's a lot of traffic on I-65. And I would just recommend getting off of that Alabaster exit, turning right off of there, going and having a great lunch. It's less than a mile off of the interstate. Sit down at Champy's. The chicken's brined overnight, cooked to order. Juicy to the bone, hand-cut chicken fingers, Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, in-house made sides, in-house made desserts. And then when you get back on ready to get on the road, don't get on the interstate. Just stay on Highway 31 all the way down till you get past the airport, and then get back on I-65 as you head to the coast down there near Timberline and the golf course area, the Montevallo exit down a little further. That should get you through a lot of the construction area there and get you a great lunch with our friends at Champy's Chicken. Perfect for tailgating when that returns in 54 days. Say hi to Sterling next time you're by there to see them. A couple of things from the Big 12 Media Days that's ongoing. A couple of developing stories. One of them is from the Commissioner Brett Yormark, much like the SEC Media Days when Greg Sankey gives a sort of a state of the conference address. Yormark telling everyone about Brendan Sorsby, that situation. Today's not the time to address that issue. Today is about celebrating the upcoming football season and celebrating our 16 schools. I would imagine, though, that for 15 schools and Texas Tech all being together over 2 days at the same place, that Yormark's having to patch some holes in the side of the Big 12 ship a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure. And you know, we kind of talked to Bruce Feldman about this yesterday. I am sure any and everyone covering that event in Frisco is glad this Sorsby thing happened last month. And it's kind of, I know it will be a big topic for a little bit, but it's not going to be nearly the topic that it was. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's got to be damage control, just the way that whole thing was handled. And I just wonder, you know, with Joey McGuire at Big 12 Media Days, I mean, are all the questions regarding the quarterback?
Well, Joey McGuire, the only quote I've seen so far, Pete Thamel says that McGuire tells him at ESPN that Will Hammond could well end up being the week 1 starter. He's recovering from a torn ACL. That's a little faster than his timeline. They were sort of projecting week 3 for him to finally get on the field. But McGuire says, quote, I think he could be ready week 1. I really do, on Hammond being the starting quarterback going into the season week 1.
Well, we haven't seen him since middle of October last year, and that was the big question. Will he be ready week 1? I still think they can ease into it a little bit. But if they, again, want to make any noise at all outside of the Big 12 Conference, they've got such a doable schedule. I don't think with shady quarterback play that would, hamper them week in, week out. But once they get to the college football playoff, if they do, they're going to need Will Hammond.
I'm really interested on how big, when the SEC Media Days roll around in Tampa in 2 weeks, the Big 10 Media Days, how it's handled at the Big 12 and the ACC Media Days, how big of a discussion about gambling do you think will pop up? Because Alabama, I don't know if you saw this. I think it happened while you were gone.
Yeah, I saw 2 staffers got released. I didn't know the details.
They were actually Kalshi here in the state of Alabama. They were using the poly markets, and they were nowhere close to being players. They were staffers that got let go, from what I could tell in the release. Immediately reported by Alabama like a level 3 self-reported violation.
What is the problem with a staffer doing any kind of poly market stuff?
I don't know. I would imagine if you're employed by the university in some form, you can't do it.
So
I think if I work,
a professor can't.
No, I think if you're in the athletic department, I think you're prevented from doing it.
I don't understand. Like, if you wanted to specify, like, you can't bet on Alabama athletics, something like that, I can understand it. But, I mean, if it's legal.
Yeah. So my question would be, do you think there's going to be a lot of questions from the media and a lot of discussion about gambling and how it fits in with the college athletes now?
Probably, because it still is a little taboo, not nearly as taboo as it was 20 years ago. And I think Sorsby brought it back up, to the mainstream. But, I mean, I don't know what you really do about it. Like, I mean, we're not going to unsalt the food and take away these massive sponsorship deals. Do you think the NFL will ever back away from their gambling partners right now?
No, not at all. But they are very strict when it comes to policing what goes on. And I guess that'll be the question. Have you upped your screening, the way you're watching your athletes after the Brendan Sorsby thing?
Well, and apparently, if Alabama's firing 2 staffers for using a legal service like Kalshi, they are policing.
Yeah. That is what we always hear, right? Furman brings it up on our show often, that with legalized gambling, that there are safeguards in place that red flag these things.
And I mean, look, everybody's using – I mean, the last time you placed a wager,
it was on the phone.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's using their phone. So, I mean, that is a digital footprint right there.
Yeah. By the way, Alabama single-game football tickets on sale. I believe it goes on sale today for East Carolina. Florida State still has some tickets left. South Carolina, Texas A&M has some tickets left. In Chattanooga, no tickets available for Georgia or Auburn.
I know we'll get more into this, come week of the 20th in Tampa for SEC Media Days. But do you think anybody will have Alabama playing for the conference championship? They did last year, but it just seems like it's going to be Texas, Georgia, with a few people putting LSU in there. Is that kind of trend for you?
Yeah. Well, let's do it this way. When you're at SEC Media Day, you're asked to rank the teams for the media rankings come out of Media Days.
Yep.
So you just started it off. You obviously would have Georgia one, as I saw your top 25.
Yeah, I don't believe in Sark. I mean, I saw it, last year. I will give Arch, with all of the pressure coming into the season and expectation for him to be able to bounce back midway through the season to play like he did at the end of the season. They still lost 3 games, though. It was a good Texas team. The roster's even better this year. I don't trust Sark, and obviously I trust Kirby.
But most of the media are going to have Texas and Georgia, or Georgia, Texas.
Yep.
The third team they put in there, for a lot of people, I think is going to be, then they're deciding between LSU and Texas A&M.
Or Ole Miss even. I get the schedule is really difficult, but based on the Ole Miss team and what they were able to do last year and Chambliss getting eligible, that is an Ole Miss team that finished 3rd in both polls last year.
Yeah, I think Texas, Georgia, Texas A&M, LSU in some form or fashion. Then the Alabama-Ole Miss debate is next after that.
It's just going to be really weird to see Alabama middle of the pack.
Yeah, 5th or 6th.
Yeah. But 5th or 6th.
We'll go 4th, 5th, or 6th in the SEC preseason rankings.
I mean, 4th or 5th probably still gets you in a college football playoff.
Yeah.
But it's just something that we're not accustomed to seeing. I mean, we've been doing this a long time. My first, and you've been doing it a lot longer than I have, but my first SEC media days.
11:07 when he called me old.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm old too, but, you know, I've been every SEC media day since 2002. And so going on 25 years of these things. And, I know it was shaky before Saban got there, but once Saban got there, it was just, you could just lock it in that Alabama was playing in an SEC championship game, or at least they were predicted to.
Yeah. So I would say winner of Texas A&M is playing Georgia in the SEC championship game. That's the way it feels to me right now.
Yeah. Do you think, bottom is going to be Arkansas, of course. I just wonder where people are going to have like Vanderbilt, where people will have first-year guys, and Will Stein in Kentucky and John Summerall in Florida and Alex Golish in Auburn.
Sounds like you named a lot of the 9 through 16 there.
And where's Tennessee? Like, what's the expectation for the Tennessee Volunteers?
I would imagine they slide in first right after Alabama Ole Miss. So that'll be around 7 to 9 for Tennessee, with Missouri and Oklahoma. I mean, we forgot Oklahoma in that discussion right
did.
there.
I think there's a good majority of people that will have Oklahoma in front of Alabama.
100%. That's why I just dawned on me that, Oklahoma's in the discussion. Now, I personally think Oklahoma's heading to 7-5 and a firing of Brent Venables.
Man, can you fire him after last year, though, this year? I mean, I guess with a disaster you could.
Well, I would say if they're 7-5 and you threw away the playoff game.
You did throw away the playoff game.
I mean, that coaching going into the locker room right before the half, let
that game
Alabama
was over.
Back in.
The game was over. The Michigan game week 2 is in the big house.
Massive.
Yeah, massive. Michigan will be favored in that game because, 2 weeks later you got to go to Georgia, and then you follow that up with Texas. I mean, that first month and a half is a brutal schedule for Oklahoma.
Jim may be onto something here. I've been posting the records of all the SEC teams the last 25 seasons, and an Oklahoma fan pointed out a disturbing trend in the Brent Venables era. Every other year they go 10-3 or 6-7.
Yep.
This is the year that they may that they're due to go 6-7.
Well, and that's at Iowa, because you see those ebbs and flows in Iowa City, you can understand that. If I'm an Oklahoma fan, I can't put up with that. Like, we should be winning, and I know it's difficult to do, and everybody can't do it, but should be 9-10 wins every single year and hovering around college football playoff berth.
Earlier in our HooverToyota.com 40 and 40, we unveiled number 39. It was NC State. So far in our rankings, we have Nebraska at 40 and NC State at 39. One team every day to the start of the college football season. We're that close now. Maybe we get a little NC State flavor in our 4 Downs today. 4 Downs being brought to you by our friends right there at Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. If you're looking for asphalt work done right the first time, call Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction based in Tuscaloosa. They're a full-service asphalt contractor trusted on major state, government, and municipal roadway projects across all of Alabama. But they're not just a big job company. They also have a dedicated division focused entirely on private driveways, smaller asphalt projects. Same crews, same quality, same no-excuse standards, no matter the size of the job. From highways to neighborhoods to your backyard, it's our friends at Central Alabama Asphalt, client-oriented, quality-focused, and you can get more details at centralalabamaasphalt.com or call the number 205-349-0910, centralalabamaasphalt.com. Let's do first down.
Okay, so we will go
first down.
There we go, Cheese. We will go NC State theme here. Current job longer, Dave Doran or Dabo Swinney?
Well, Dave Doran made it sound like his kids in his Ari Andy on 3 interview. Made it sound like his kids are out of school now. I just don't think Dabo's going to stop coaching.
I don't know if he'll stop coaching, and I'm almost willing to give him like a lifetime pass for what he did for that program. But at the same time, like, it's got to be frustrating for a Clemson fan to completely fall off the mountain like they have. I think Dave Doran, winning 8 or 9 games, to be there 14 years, going into year 14 and never win double-digit games, it shows you he's done a really good job, but you can kind of hover at that 8 or 9, and you're going to be, you'll be secure.
Let's do this. Dave Doran 9-3 this year.
Yep.
Okay, if he goes 9-3 this year, what kind of job offers does he get?
He gets none. I don't think he gets any. I mean, he's been there so long. He's a fixture there, but if you're a NC State fan, I think you're like, okay, we've got a pretty solid product. I mean, really, can we expect more?
Okay, Shane Beamer gets fired at South Carolina. Dave Doran is 9-3. South Carolina doesn't look at it.
I don't think they do. If they do, he would take that job, I believe. Yeah. I guess.
But you're right. I don't think he gets looked at.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
I can't imagine the kind of job he gets looked at 9-3.
And I think Dabo gets infuriated with how he is picked apart, which I get on one hand, but on the other hand, if you're Dabo, you got to realize, like, you're a victim of your own success.
2019 is a long time ago now.
Like, building is one thing, but maintaining, we've talked about, probably more difficult. Yeah. And 2019 is a long time ago. I heard some guys discussing Jalen Hurts earlier, and they were talking about, like, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not the starting quarterback next year. And they're like, when's the last time he won a Super Bowl? And somebody was like, 2 years ago. And I'm like, what is the...
That's right.
Like Brown's never seen his Dolphins win a Super Bowl.
That's right.
What's the grace period for a quarterback winning a Super Bowl? But, I mean, that's where we are in all these sports right now. And for Dabo, 2019 was a long, long time ago. I think I would take Dave Doran. I think Dabo will tap out sooner than later.
I think Dabo will be at Clemson longer than Dave Doran at NC State. I don't know what the job looks like, but I feel like he has another chapter somewhere else left in him. I don't know where, though.
Second down.
Okay, let me ask you. Mike Norvell, it hits the rocks. Florida State looks at Dave Doran?
No. I don't, I think for Florida State, you don't necessarily have to have, and not that they've done this all the time, because we remember when Willie Taggart was named head coach, you don't have to have a splash hire. I think Mike Norvell wasn't a splash hire. I don't know. I don't know where Florida State goes. I mean, maybe Prime. Prime goes 6-6 this year.
No, I was talking to a Florida State guy at our Folds of Honor event coming, and he was
our man Charlie.
Yeah, he said you'd be surprised at how many Florida State people are not Deion fans because of the way Deion has treated Florida State since he graduated.
Those are the internal things you don't know about.
Yeah.
Okay, so on this date in 1927, BBC's first disc jockey, Christopher Stone, begins playing records on air. Who was your favorite DJ growing up? Did you have one?
I enjoyed Casey Kasem on the 40 and 40 countdown.
Such a good storyteller.
Yeah. This will mean nothing to nobody, but we had a friend, he's still our friend, Orlando, we worked with over at Jocks, and he helped us with the remotes, but I
saw him a couple of weeks ago.
He did classic rock late at night on Rock 99.
And nobody knew he was black.
Nobody knew he was black, but he still does have this unbelievable voice. But he would play deep cuts
right.
late at night, right? That was the show, Deep Cuts with Orlando, whatever he called himself on the air. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. And I liked Tony Curry. But there was a guy, something Coyote, back when I was a kid. And in the chat room, people will
I know who this is. It's
the chat room people will know this.
Something J Coyote.
Jody says Wolfman Jack, but there was some local guy that was sort of like
Coyote J Calhoun.
Yep. Was that what it was?
I think so.
Yeah. And he had a weird voice and he was fun, and he may have been out of Huntsville. I don't know where he was from, but I heard him when I was growing up, and I thought that was fun. He was a fun dude.
As a young kid, Mark and Brian, getting dropped off at school and listening to those guys on, I thought they were really creative. They weren't in the market for long.
No, they were hilarious. Yeah. I still see some stuff pop up on. Somebody has old video vault from somewhere. I see some of their old videos pop up on TikTok. Like there was a guy playing guitar on the South Side. Just making up songs about people as they walk by, and there was a good-looking girl by 90s standard walking by, And we'll all admit women look better now than they did in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I mean, they tend to take care of themselves a little bit more.
Yeah, so she's walking by on the south side, and he's like, making up the lyrics like, you're not even going to look over my way, singing, and you got a hidden camera, and she finally starts smiling. She finally turns around and looks at him, that kind of stuff. They were funny.
The cutting edge in the 90s when they went from the Bear to the X, Luca. Luca was a big deal, and I think maybe because of the accent, I don't know.
Rod, Jimbo Woods. I remember Jimbo.
Oh, yeah, I-95.
Yep. Rod says, my fraternity brother. So ATO, Jimbo Woods. Rod, how about that? I know that.
I mean, I loved.
Hey, is that what he did?
Yeah, yep, sure did. TC and John Ed growing up.
No, TC and John Ed was good. The Pam Huff song was epic from Mark and Brian, says RTD4.
Yeah, I mean, they did some creative stuff back in the day. One of the reasons you go from, to make the jump from Birmingham, I don't know what market size, probably in the 60s then, to number 2 LA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, give me that in college football coaches. I mean, I guess that's Signetti now from JMU to Indiana.
And winning a national championship. That's what it is. Wild E. Coyote. No,
that's the
cartoon.
freaking,
Yeah, Luca is popping in with everybody now.
Yeah, Tony Curry, former partner of mine on the round table way back in the day.
I don't think Jimbo Woods was hey. That was the guy from 70s sitcom. Hey.
No, I think Jimbo Wood was.
He did hey?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I knew he had something he said. Spider Harrison on Sirius XM now has a great voice. Yep.
Third down.
On this date in 1928, Missouri's Chillicothe Baking Company offers up the first ever sliced bread for sale. What is literally the best invention since sliced bread in 1928?
Which is the old saying. So bread used to come in loaves.
Yep.
And so they went on and sliced it.
It was a wartime thing. But I mean, it just didn't really make sense to not have it sliced up. I think sliced bread is a great thing. I'm going to go TVs. Like this new TV that I've got, I can't watch TV in any other room now. Like I've got to go down there and watch this TV. And I just think where we are in TVs, I mean, it's literally better than being at the event. When you're talking about 4K broadcast, the ability to purchase a TV at a lot lower level than the cost used to be. I know Brown would say the AC.
Yeah, well, I mean, air conditioning is huge. If you've ever stayed at a place that doesn't have AC, I mean, even when you're at like some places in San Diego, you depending on which part of the day it is, you open up a window on each side of the house, wherever the breeze is coming from. There's still a feel to it that isn't AC.
Now, would you give up the internet for AC?
Well, probably not, because I run cold these days.
But so this is why I'm getting to a pecking order.
I wouldn't give up the TV for
anything. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying like the AC, like you need it. I want it really bad. But the TV is like in front of everything. TV is in front of the internet for me. Like the internet makes our job so much easier, because I remember going back to the 2002s, we didn't have the luxury of this. Did all your prep, you rolled in, and you did a show without being able to pull things immediately on the fly. But I still, without the TV, where are we? Completely lost.
Yeah. Jay Bake says the Bushwhacker machines at Floribama. Greatest invention since sliced bread.
Those are good. Those might have been around 1928, though.
Let's do fourth down.
Fourth down.
I know you can't stand him, but Ringo Starr is 85 years old.
It's not I can't stand him.
Well, this is a serious question. Better career, Ringo Starr or Nick Saban?
It's not a bad give me Forrester's microphone. Anytime he throws Nick Saban into
He's a Beatle.
Anybody that could play drums could have played drums for them.
But
they literally pulled him off the street.
And he's still performing. He's one of only 2 Beatles that are alive still. He is a Beatle.
You don't beat Nick Saban.
I don't like the Beatles. I mean, I respect the Beatles. I think some of their music's okay. I think some of their music's awful in my opinion. But he is a Beatle. I mean, like that's the greatest celebrity group of all time.
Forrester, help me out. I don't think people look at Ringo Starr and say, technically, man, that guy could drum.
No, I don't think Ringo's looked at in the same light as Paul McCartney and Lennon's songwriting and all that.
I get
and
that.
I don't even like the Beatles, so give me Saban.
I mean,
Saban is the greatest coach in history, but Ringo Starr, I'm just talking about like the enormity of the Beatles.
Ringo's kind of like the other guy in the Beatles, though.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know all of the dynamics of the Beatles. I just know he was one of the guys that everybody was going nuts for.
He's like Chris Bosh to Dwayne Wade and LeBron James.
Not even close. He replaced Pete Best. They basically picked him up off the street. Manager Brian Epstein and the rest of the band wanted a drummer with better timing and an easier going personality. So basically, Pete Best was very talented, couldn't keep time, and was
timing is like the most
had my personality.
Timing is like one of the most important elements for a drummer. So like if he wasn't good enough to cut it with the Beatles and they went out and got Ringo Starr, again, he is the least important. I don't know. Is George Harrison more important than Ringo Starr? I don't know.
Ringo, it was a money grab for Ringo. He accepted the offer because his previous band was going under and the Beatles offer paid him more money.
You don't think it was a money grab for Saban leaving the Miami Dolphins and coming to Alabama?
I don't know.
I think it was a championship grab.
Ringo was playing for Rory Storm and the Hurricanes before the Beatles.
That sounds like a British band.
I don't respect Ringo Starr.
I knew you didn't, but I'm just
right place, right time.
I mean, I think more talented is obviously Saban. I mean, I think Saban could probably do about anything he wanted to do. But again, how massive the Beatles were, that's the only reason I bring this up. I think people would laugh if we did this in any other country but here.
Yeah. Hey, remember, Saban did play the accordion as a kid, too.
Yes. Better than Ringo played the drums,
He might be
I'm
a better
sure.
musician.
Yeah. German polka music.
Rod says Rockstar's head is exploding somewhere. He never liked it when we started talking about music. I would say that do you not think they could have found 50 people that could have played what they played?
But they didn't, and I would assume because they were perfectionists, both Lennon and McCartney, I would think that they probably got the best available guy.
RTD4 is right. There's a guy with one arm that plays the drums better than him.
Rick Allen, Def Leppard.
Yeah.
He's one of the greats to do it. I mean, there's 10, 15 drummers on the planet right now that are much better than Ringo. I'm just saying he was a Beatle. And I can't believe I'm sitting here defending Ringo Starr because I don't like the Bengals. I don't like Ringo.
Yeah. Beatles, not the Bengals. You don't like the Bengals either, do you?
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think so. All right, that's our 4 downs today, brought to you by Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. Right there, their website, centralalabamaasphalt.com. When we come back, we'll do Trash Today, the show being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. A chance to jump on with our friends at Michelson and get what LT had done a couple of decades ago and change your vision forever.
Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, they are the best in the business. Make the phone call that I made back in 2003, 205-969-8100. If you wear contacts or glasses, you are wasting money each and every year. Make the call today. Ask for Amy Toa, the next round Cynthia. She's going to hook you up with that hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
At Jim Dunaway.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Next round shirts, next round hoodies, and next round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing next round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite next round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big next round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing next round gear from nextround.store. Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Final segment of the show today, always brought to you by our friends at Champy's, Highway 119 in Alabaster. We tell you about Sterling's business down there. There are Champy's everywhere, right? But there's only one that's owned by Sterling. He's been in that same location for 11 years. He's curated this awesome atmosphere there. So many pieces of memorabilia from his life and concerts on the walls there. It's just a great place to go hang out, happy hour, have lunch or dinner. Hand-cut chicken fingers, the brined overnight, cooked to order, juicy to the bone fried chicken, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Most tamales suck, but not the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Got a little kick to them. It's all right there at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Trash in just a second. One more reaction to the World Cup. Did we finally find out, Brooks and Scott's mic too, if I can get those mics? We found out Freddie's a fraud, right? The guy that was posting the entire time, like he's deleted all of his accounts.
I told you guys this immediately.
I did too. I was on this 100%. Freddie's a fraud, right? He deleted his accounts.
Just his Twitter account, to my knowledge.
Well, why would you delete it if you weren't a fraud?
He was saying that he was getting a lot of crap from people and he was tired of it.
Yeah, he said it was starting to become like divisive and all this stuff. So he posted why he deleted it on his Instagram, or he deactivated it, which is the same thing.
I believe he got the Ella Langley pass to go backstage and hang out at her concert.
Circa tried to fly him in.
That's when I think it went bad for him, because we never heard that if he went to Circa or not.
Well, nobody's going to turn that down. Like, they're going to fly you on your jet with your other German friends, and he's just going to turn that down. I just thought it was weird from the jump that he was never on camera. And that would be more unique if you had the foreign flavor where you actually hear the guy talking and see the guy.
Yeah, see, the World Cup didn't end last night, but it felt like it did to me. I'll probably still watch some of it, but that's been my favorite part of the World Cup, has been watching, and I don't know how much of it's real. I'm old now. I believe everything I see. I fall for scams all the time, like this Dutch woman who goes through Sonic and we can order in the car. We don't have to get out to order, that kind of stuff. Is that really foreign people in our country going through Sonic for the first time, or Wendy's or Texas Roadhouse, or do you think some of that is fake?
I think some of that's real.
Because my wife's great at accents.
Lance, when you went to Europe, how many drive-thrus did you see?
I didn't see any drive-thrus.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking when I was in Ireland. I never saw any drive-thrus, so that could be real.
Yeah, again though, but where I was, I say that we were in some rural places too. I never saw any drive-thrus.
Yeah, I can't. I went to a few different countries 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't recall seeing a single one.
Yeah.
That may be authentically American.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. It sort of makes me want to go. We got a Sonic near our house. It almost made me want to go to Sonic and appreciate it a little bit more. Almost.
Yeah. I mean, I pass it every day and I never stop. But
hey, the cheddar peppers, man, they're good.
Last time I went was just to pick up your girlfriend a corn dog.
A corn dog, yeah. Yeah.
On the way over to your house.
Yep.
She wanted a corn dog. And I was like, where can you get a corn dog? Sonic, right out there.
Get a foot-long corn dog.
A foot-long corn dog.
Oh, I didn't know they had foot-long corn dogs.
That's a lot of corn dog.
Yeah.
Way to go, Brooks. All right, Hemp Hill to trash today. Tell us about Hemp Hill Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Yeah, again, never ideal if you have a plumbing issue or the AC goes out. These things happen. It's great to know that you've got a name that you can trust. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 for more information. HempHillServices.com.
We will foul the living shit out of you. We'll foul a three-point shooter. We'll foul at the end of the clock. We'll leave our feet on drives. We'll reach. You describe the foul, and the team that I'm coaching will commit it.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Our friends from Bud Light. Waymo is back in the news. Seems like anytime we talk about Waymo, it's never in a positive light.
I know, but the World Cup, right before the kick last night, they had a Waymo commercial, like basically making it sound like it saves lives. And we only have bad Waymo stories in here.
I don't know how many times you've been in the Waymo. I've probably been in 5 or 6.
3.
Yeah. I've never had a problem with it. It does seem extremely weird when you're in there, especially if you're in a solo situation where it's just you and the Waymo driving you. But a video sent to San Francisco's Keyron 4 seems to show a Waymo car driving through an exploding firework on Saturday evening. This video right here shows a pastor in a Waymo car videoing out of the window, and a person on the sidewalk appears to light a firework in an intersection. As the firework begins to explode, you can hear the pastor say, quote, "Oh, no, no," as the Waymo continues driving towards the chaotic scene. Now, you can see colorful smoke coming from what looks to be underneath the self-driving car in the video, and you can hear one passenger ask, "Are we on fire, dude?" Now, across San Francisco, there were reports of Waymo cars adding to traffic by blocking roadways. High volume of traffic left many stuck for hours, causing some Waymo vehicles to run out of power and require a tow. It's never good. I know I'm in the minority. I don't like the fireworks.
I'm not a big firework person either. And again, I feel like this is staged. I feel like this is a scam, that somebody knows that this girl's getting in the Waymo. This other guy runs out and lights the fireworks in the middle of the intersection just to get this video.
I did see where we had a local kid arrested, a 13-year-old, threw fireworks at a cop car the other night.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the fireworks. I was with somebody.
I loved them as kids, though, and maybe it was because we just didn't have as many options. But, for the month of July and the month of January, Christmas break, we would just have big bag of bottle rockets, carry them around the neighborhood. We'd have our bottle rocket wars, which... not very safe. I don't know if you saw some of the videos of guys trying to actually hit Roman candles.
Yeah.
I saw a dude take one in the eye.
Yeah, got to have goggles on for that. So we're out by the pool on July 4th and with friends, and my wife had never seen, didn't know it existed, Back It Up Terry.
Oh my gosh.
Had never seen it or heard of it. We started talking about Back It Up Terry, and she's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And we're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Now, I can't believe Terry's still as big of a story as it is, because I got a happy 4th. Let's not forget And I was like, let's not forget what? Like, I know we're 250 years old. We're a great country. And they were like, they sent me the Back It Up Terry video.
It is the go-to first. It's always the first thing in our old man golf group. It's the first thing on July 4th that pops up. Somebody at sunrise basically sends it out. Back it up, Terry.
34-year-old Houston man has been charged with assault for driving around in his car, shooting homeless and disabled people in the face with a high-powered water gun and uploading the footage to social media. Yeah. This seems a little cruel.
We should, a social media prison. We should just start one of those and throw some of these people in there.
Now, Christopher Casey is believed to have targeted people walking on sidewalks, standing in medians, lying near the street, using a Spira motorized water gun, marketed as the world's strongest. Now, the manufacturer explicitly warns against people shooting others in the face or eyes due to the pressure it generates. In some of the videos posted that you see right here on Facebook and YouTube, Casey lured victims towards his car by offering them money or food. I hate to laugh out loud at this.
Burn in hell.
Before spraying them as they approached. Now, according to the Houston Chronicle, Casey was initially stopped and booked into Harris County Jail for driving without a license plate and then having a legal window tint. He was then charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor assault, causing bodily harm related to incidents on June 4th before being released. He referred to his targets as, quote, zombies in his post.
Oh, this is horrible. The young girl that comes up and he gives her money and then he blasts her in the face. Burn in hell, dude. Come on.
Very, very unique.
I had no problem when he started shooting the
what about
boy
the dude
band,
the wheelchair?
The boy band all white T-shirt. That was no problem. I'm okay shooting those guys. Yeah. But this one lady, hold on. How quick does it cycle back around? The lady, I think it's coming up here. Oh, this was a bad one too.
That dude, that cannot be comfortable. Okay. The Berkshire, Sunbury, Trenton, and Galena Fire District were dispatched following reports of a big rig leaking a strange substance.
Oh.
Now, when they followed the trail of the sticky substance to the pilot truck stop near the US 36 State Route 37 exit, they realized that the mystery fluid leaking from the trailer was 40,000 pounds of Frank's Red Hot sauce. I like the Frank's Red Hot sauce. I don't know if you're a fan or not. I think it's actually better than Tabasco sauce. It's got a little more substance to it. Now, fire crews elected not to wash off the substance from the road because of its acidity. If it were to be washed into the waterways, it could have become an environmental crisis, according to this report.
I don't know about that.
Instead, the authorities notified the Environmental Protection Agency based in Ohio, who issued hazmat materials and containment pools to prevent the hot sauce from entering any drains.
So somewhere there's a buzzard that ate a dead armadillo on the side of the road, and it had a little kick to it. And he's hooked now. He's like...
Well, or he's shitting his brains out, right?
He sweats like you do.
Oh, God. I can't do it. I love hot stuff, but I sweat my ass off. And finally, a man was arrested after being caught living illegally on national forest grounds for almost a decade, and he is now facing up to 5 years in prison. Now, the U.S. Forest Service received multiple reports that inside of the Tonto National Forest in Arizona, several large structures, multiple constructed fire pits, years of accumulated waste and household items dispersed throughout roughly an acre of forest. Now, responding officers encountered Mark Gatz, 65-year-old Arizona man, who over the course of a year would continually ignore warnings and citations and federal arrest warrants for violations regarding illegal campfires, building structures on federal land, and unauthorized residence. Gatz was spotted by officers along a 2-track dirt trail in an area popular for hiking and mountain biking. Officers observed the campsite he occupied contained 1,000 pounds of trash. In general, campers are limited to a 14-day stay within a 30-day period, but he decided to live there for 8 years.
Wow. Does he own the land now?
I mean, that's terrible. How do bears not come and eat this guy with all the trash? You're supposed to keep your trash contained, right?
I learned a lot about our 250-year history from different sides of the political spectrum. So 8 years in that one piece of land, he owns it now, right?
Yeah, he should. Yeah.
No need to check the documents.
Hey, do you see what he's driving?
Is that a Toyota?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, it's a Toyota. We've got a state park, national park after Tonto?
Yeah, apparently so.
Did that surprise you?
We took their land, but at least we gave them the name, right?
But that's Lone Ranger's sidekick,
yeah, it's a
right?
sidekick. Yeah, Tonto and Silver.
Robin
look at the
gets
flex,
nothing.
though. He puts the signage out of 1,000 pounds of trash.
Yeah.
That's all I got today.
That is Trash Today, brought to you always by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Again, help us out like we ask you to do all the time with our friends at Folds of Honor, Alabama. Folds of Honor, Alabama. We partnered with Budweiser, Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch, Adams Beverage, and the fine folks at Walk-Ons the entire month of July. In association with us and all those great sponsors, you can go by and have $2 bottles, $3 drafts of Bud Light all through July. So watching the World Cup, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, the SEC Media Days, leading into NFL preseason, all month in walk-ons, $2 bottles, which is hard for me to say, $3 draft, Bud Light, all throughout the month of July. And on every table, there's a QR code where you can donate to Folds of Honor, Alabama. Every dollar stays here in the state, helping veterans and first responders as we give out scholarships and so much more. We're going to be out again at one of our local walk-ons, Stadium Trace, Trustville, Tattersall Park, on July 31st.
Yep.
And I didn't tell you this. We're going to have a big check presentation of all the money raised this month of July from our viewers and listeners, and we're going to make one big check presentation to the fine folks at Folds of Honor, Alabama.
Yeah, keep spending. Walk-On's a great place to watch World Cup action. Speaking of which, we got an update from Atlanta. Very interesting. The Egyptians are up 1-0 on Argentina.
Oh, no.
Messi was denied on a PK. So Messi has a penalty kick. Our man Tyler is over there. It's his favorite player in the world, and he got to see him attempt a penalty kick and
got shut down.
I mean, I would think that he's probably like Steph Curry from the free throw line.
This is him inside the stadium. Probably illegal video, but I won't say that out loud. There's Tyler inside the stadium. Forscher's in charge of our policing. And so those are great seats.
Yeah, great seats. I mean, the buzz is starting to evaporate a little bit. I mean, I'm still all in because I own Switzerland, Norway, and England. I got a good chance of winning our Calcutta. I need Switzerland to pull off a upset today.
You don't have Morocco?
I wanted Morocco, but they unfortunately got peeled away. But France is winning this whole thing. So
thanks to our friends at ATIX helping Tyler with those tickets there. What a great crowd, great scene, and Tyler getting to experience that. Really fun. Good for him.
Yeah, but I mean, we're 43 and change into this match. So coming up on halftime, and Egypt, I mean, this could get really interesting in the second half.
3-1. Argentina wins at 3-1.
If we were still doing stake bets, I would take the 1.5 goals plus in regulation time for really any amount at this point.
Yeah. All right. Great scene for Tyler. We can't wait to hear the stories tomorrow. Cheese, great job by you filling in today, and he'll be filling in the rest. Great internship for you. You've done a great job. Brooks, Forscher, not too bad, not too bad. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Next Reels tomorrow?
Yeah, we're doing the Jaws director commentary. I haven't heard back from Tyler. We're either doing it tomorrow or Thursday. We're going to do it live, and hopefully you guys will be able to watch along with us.
Yep. Don't forget the OG Kickoff with Conor O'Gara, a new live show with the Conor O'Gara Show coming up Friday, and, of course, the Last Call with Mick and company, always on our platforms. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.